night, screens glowing blue, got the facts in my headlights. Commonwealth tripping, but the truth stay calm. Morrissey and Lally, I'ma read them like Psalms. KP throwing shade from a broke down porch, but the files in my lap like a flame to a torch. I don't raise my voice, I just let the game speak. Steady with the grind while the crooked run weak. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks, they can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just ride a slow grind. Midnight oil burning, pen hit the pad slow. Every word cut clean like the rims on the 6-4. From Boston to Brockton, the whispers all hum. Turtleboys riding in the reckoning gon' come. Lally in the back room, Morrissey on the phone, trying to twist the narrative, but they can't postpone. I'm just sipping on the facts while the city play pretend. Truth got no curfew, I'ma run it to the end. See, this ain't about fame, this is about that long game. You can duck, you can weave, but the truth still call your name. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks, they can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, gliding. We just riding slow, gliding, paper stacking in the breeze. Turn the system up, let the whole town see. No mask on my face, no fear in my lane. I'ma shine that light on the ones bringing shame. From the courtrooms down to the city blocks, they can't hide from the truth, cause the truth don't stop. We just riding slow, gliding. We just call hoes down to the city block. We just riding slow, gliding.
My name's Aidan Kearney,
known online as
Turtleboy, and is a senior editor for
TBDailyNews.com.
They call me
Dr. Turtleboy.
This is my preferred pronoun. Daddy.
What's up, Daddy?
Journalism Jesus. A. Timothy Kearney.
The one and only Turtleboy.
Turtleboy. What's up, Slick? The doctor is here.
This guy's a bad motherfucker.
That's like the intro.
I've broken a lot of major stories. I've been doing it for about 11 years. I used to be a high school teacher.
Turtleboy has changed a lot over the years. I was once a blogger, but now I'm much more accurately known as an award-winning journalist, a satirist, and an activist. Boom!
They're screaming your name here. You're the crowd daddy.
Crazy.
People either love me or hate me.
Listen, Turtle, all right?
But either way, they're watching.
Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
Stop it. I'm never gonna stop. This fight's just getting started. Now let's get this party started. Yo, what's up, peeps? How's everybody doing? Let me know if we get static tonight. Feel free to let me know about that. We're trying to, the static's horrible. I know. What are you going to do? But just let me know. I can usually fix it. But anyway, how's everybody doing? I was going to wait till tomorrow to go live about this, but I can't do it. I got way too much to say, man. And I haven't had a chance yet to go over the whole, interviews with Chris Albert, Julie Albert, Michael Proctor, and Courtney Proctor, which are just wild in and of itself. Okay. And like, I want to go over those two, and it's just, I'm not gonna have enough time. So we got to do it like every day. I don't give a shit. So anyway, how's everybody doing out there? I had a really good day, interesting day in court today. I'll tell you right now, like a lot of people are like down. I don't know what you guys expected. Like I knew exactly this today went exactly how I thought it was going to go. Like actually, I thought it went better than it could have gone. Like I was actually pleasantly surprised with him grilling Cosgrove, and I was also very enthused about like guys. If you watch my show, you know that I've been talking trial for a while. Right. I'm ready for a trial. Like I've been ready for a trial. I'm in trial mindset. I've been planning trial. I've been planning who we're going to call as witnesses. Like I've assumed we're going to trial for a long time. Like that's not, I always assume we're going to trial. Right. Because Kearney went to trial. I was convinced Kearney would never make the trial because it's absolutely ridiculous, but no, they will embarrass themselves on national television and they will do it again. They've learned nothing. Like I said it when Karen Reed was in pretrial shit. I'll say it again. You want to fuck? Let's fuck. Let's just get in a room and fuck. Let do it. It's time to fuck. It's time to fuck. And I'm ready to fuck. I'm always ready to fuck. And if you guys want to do this, I'm not going to lose. I will not lose. Go ahead. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. This is going to be my greatest victory of many victories, many victories I've had over these years to get where I am today. I did not get to where I am today by backing down, by losing. I win. That's what I do. I'm going to win, especially when for the first time I'm in a position where I'm fighting for my life. Okay, my life is on the line here. Like literally, if you lose, you can go to jail. You have to win. You have to win. I've never been in this position before where it's like you have to win. And I'm already in that, and I'm going to win. And the what I have going for me is that I haven't committed a crime. I haven't I've not even close. And I get to defend the greatest thing this country has that no other country on earth has, a First Amendment. I get to be the person on trial defending the United States Constitution. I get the privilege and the honor of doing that. Okay. And are you allowed to say the things that I said in defense of John O'Keefe and Karen Reed? Are you a man who was murdered and thrown on the lawn like trash, and a woman who was framed for his murder? Are you allowed to say mean things to the people who killed him and framed her? Are you allowed to do that? I say yes. I say fuck yes. I say let's go. And if you want to put that, and I get it, like these judges, no, that's one thing I learned. When they didn't dismiss Karen Reed's charges, I realized, oh, they don't dismiss anything, huh? Like judges do not around here do not like to be the person who dismisses shit. They don't like it, right? They just leave it up to a jury. I agree. You want it? I think it should be thrown out. You want to leave it up to a jury? Let's go. Good luck finding 12. Because you are going to put the First Amendment on trial, and you are going to relitigate as much as you don't want to relitigate the Karen Reed case. You have no choice now. It's all coming into evidence, all of this, because I have to explain and others have to explain why they did what they did. Why were, why did these people attend the rolling rally? Why did all those people and not get arrested, by the way? Why did all those people attend the rolling rally? Why? Why were you there that day? What did you see? What did you see? Did you see any witness intimidation there? Did you see any violence? Did you see any threats? Because you witnessed, this was a crime. That's what they're telling us. The rolling rally was a crime. So there were hundreds of witnesses to a crime that occurred all day, according to them, right? The only people who have testified about the rolling rally are the McAlberts. That's the only people that the government has put on the stand. So let's bring on the we will put every single person who went to that rolling rally on the stand if we need to. Every single person. And they can explain what they saw that day. Tell the jury what you witnessed that day. Did you see any intimidation? Did you see any threats? Did you hear anything about interfering with an ongoing criminal proceeding? Did you do that? Did you hear anything like that? No, you didn't? Oh, okay. Why were you there? Why were you there? Oh, you were there because you believed that these people were involved in covering up a murder. Oh, and you believe this guy, on the defendant, you believe this guy was leading a social movement that was exposing them. You believe that. Oh, so that's, oh, okay. So yeah, let's put them all on the stand. Let's do it. Okay. Okay. You want to do it? Let's fuck. I got no problem with that. Let's put them all. And believe me, I have the most productive thing that came out today. Why I am so happy for my life today. I mean, for my life, with the way today went was not what happened in court. I could give a fuck less about that. To court, was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Right. I was excited about what came after court, the meeting that we had. Okay. And the discussions that we had. That's what I liked. And you don't get to be privy to what happened there, but I'm very excited about it. And again, I said this to Purple Kool-Aid. I was just on his Twitter presentation prior to this. If you're watching a football match, right? And American football, not soccer football. And you have one team has Lamar Jackson in his prime and Derrick Henry on one team. That's who's leading them. The other team, who do they got a quarterback? They have Joe Namath, but not 1967 Joe Namath. Joe Namath now, Joe Namath, like 80-something-year-old Joe Namath. That's who they have. That's Cosgrove versus Bradle and Betterow. Who you betting on? Because don't forget, they don't have Hank Brennan this time around. They don't. Does that man seem? That hearing went an hour long today, 1 hour. I thought he was going to pass out. He showed up with a beard and a hat on, like he was Whitey Bulger on the run. Like he did not, with his tennis shoes on. He was exhausted. These trial dates are 8 hours long. He's 1,000 years old. 1,000. Who you betting on? Put me on the stand. You saw me on the stand with 5150 at the restraining order hearing that she initiated, not me. You saw that. It was better than direct. I did better under cross-examination than on direct. Go ahead, because that's when I'm at my finest. When you are trying to get one over on me and I'm defending myself, that's when I'm at my best. So, and because two things I will guarantee coming out of this, two things. Number one, if this goes to a trial, it will be a jury trial. We will not waive a jury. That I can guarantee you. It is going to be a jury trial. Because a jury of my peers I trust. I was an 11th grade history teacher, man. You understand how hard it is to teach, to get 11th grade kids who are thinking, all they want to think about is two things: booze and pussy. That's all they care about, because it's all new to them when they're in 11th grade. For the first time, booze and pussy are around. And that's all I was thinking about when I was in 11th grade. I wasn't thinking about history. I was thinking about booze and pussy. Okay. And I could give a shit less what my history teacher was saying. And so I had to teach 11th graders to give a shit about the Spanish-American War and the USS Maine. They don't give a shit about that. But I had to find a way to make them care. Okay. You understand how talented that is, the skill that takes to get 11th graders to give a shit about that, to get them to pay attention and like it and enjoy it. I did that. That's like my greatest accomplishment ever. Wasn't anything I've done here is what I did in the classroom. Okay. And that is a jury to me. The jury is a class of my students who I just need to explain this to, and everything will be fine. Okay. And I have to get them to care. and I have to get them to understand. And that's what I'm going to do. Period. End of story. And it's going to happen. So we're going to talk all about that. We're going to watch it. But if you're new here, guys, my name is Aidan Kearney. I'm the host of this program here. You can call me a variety of nicknames, up to and including Journalism Jesus, A. Timothy Kearney. It's my true crime name. Uncle Turtleboy, old school turtle riders call me that. You just call me Turtleboy. A lot of people just call me Turtleboy. A lot of people in Boston. I was in Boston all weekend. And, we went out for the World Cup. We watched the World Cup at Faneuil Hall. Went to Margaritaville, actually, because we stayed at the hotel right by there. And went to Margaritaville, had a blast. People just come everywhere I go in Boston. Say Turtleboy. Everywhere I fucking go. I go walk around Boston, million people. People ask to take pictures. People say hi to you. It happens all the time. I was in the goddamn elevator today, coming from the parking garage, okay? In the elevator, going to court. I got my suit on, and I'm in the elevator, and I get out, and this guy behind me goes, good luck today. I'm like, oh, thanks. And he's like, I was just watching Saturday's show, and he shows me his phone, and sure as fuck, there I am, right on his phone. So yeah, that's what I did there. And so like, that's a jury. Like, that's what you're going to get. 12 people. And if they haven't heard of me yet, trust me, they're gonna love me. And you can act like people don't fucking love me, but you're in denial, brother. You are a very significant minority of people filled with losers. There might be one or two losers that get on the jury. Might be. They might get on there. And they might be holding out or whatever. But you're not going to get 12. Well, it's not going to, it was the same with Karen Reed. You'll never get 12. You can get 9 even with Karen Reed. You got 9. Or so they say. Some say 8. Ronnie said 8. But 9, 8, whatever. You got more than one. And yeah, black women love Turtleboy too. I got that. That became official today. We were outside the courthouse, on the courthouse stairs, doing our exit interview. And this bodacious African-American woman came out of the courthouse with a man. And she saw the sign saying Turtleboy was right. And she's like, she just interrupted the press conference and was like, fuck yeah, Turtleboy was right. And Carrie is not guilty. And then she goes, black girls for Turtleboy. She said, black. So that's black girls for Turtleboy. Like, go do it. Do it. Everybody likes me. And they're not going to like the fact that who wanted me arrested? Oh, that's right. Racist poo-poo baby bitch, Michael Proctor. Oh, he's making fun of me. He's being me. He's talking about me again. Talking about my family again. Why are we just arresting him? And also, N-word, 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 and fuck the Jews. Oh, but he's being mean to me. He's being mean to me. Yeah, okay. See how that plays with any demographic of people, especially people of color. See how that plays. You don't think we're going to bring that up? We get it all. We get it all. Do it. Prosecute me. Do it. It'll be the best Christmas ever. Ever. The best Christmas ever. You know? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Any of these people. And I'll never forget the people who, you don't think I'm taking on names, motherfucker? Of every single person who doubted me. You don't think I'm screenshotting everything, saving everything, remembering every person who thought that they could kick me when I'm down? Ooh. Do it. Do it. Do it. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait. So anyway, you can also call me. What else can you call me? I was in the middle of my thing there. Turtleboy, just regular Turtleboy. You can call me. I prefer Dr. Turtleboy because of, Judd Welch is a doctor. I get to be a doctor too. You can call me Daddy if you'd like. That might be weird for some people. For others, it might be, I get it's a little awkward, but for others, they might find it fun, flirtatious, playful, even sexy. They might even call it. You call me different kinds of daddy. You can call me crowd daddy. You can call me theater daddy, brow daddy, daytime daddy, Mr. Media daddy, Saint daddy, drama daddy, formerly drama free daddy. And of course, you can call me fridge daddy if you'd like, because I fix fridges like it's going out of style. Okay. They break again often, and you might want your fridge fixed again. That might happen, but your fridge will be fixed temporarily for like a week. Okay. Awesome. Okay. And yes, shout out. We're going to show Grant Smith's stream tonight. And Grant asked a really good question outside of court. And I didn't even know about. Grant asked me, or asked my lawyers, like, what do you think about Proctor's bias towards the Irish? Okay. Where he made some joke about the potato famine. And so I just got it sent to me here. Oh my God. I don't know what year this is from, but it's Proctor saying, "Hey, Leahy, how would you feel if the potato famine wiped out people? Being wiped out by a potato would be embarrassing." Oof. It's not funny, Proctor. It's not funny. The potato it's too soon. Potato famine jokes are too soon. My people have been through too much. It's all there was to eat, motherfucker. How would you like it? No French fries. Oh, you can't eat any potatoes. Well, that's what's for dinner. So if there's no potatoes, what the fuck are we going to eat? Huh? And people starved and shit, man. They were hungry. And others died of disease. There was a whole exodus of people that fled the country to come to America because of fucking potatoes. You know, you think that shit's funny? You think that shit's cute, Proctor? What my ancestors had to go through? That's why I live in America today. Because of potatoes. It's too soon. It's too hard. Then he says, haha, we could use them N-words, yikes, as dartboards. Well, that's nice. And Larry Kennedy says, Meg Kennedy's wife's husband says, I would love that. Perfect world. So hates my people too. So my people are, so shout out to Grant I didn't even know that he said that he's biased against the Irish. That shit's not cute, bro. That's like making slavery jokes about black people. You can't be making jokes about potato famines and shit. That shit's like serious, bro. You know? At least if you're a cop. But anyway, don't forget to smash that subscribe button too if you haven't done so already. I got messages from LH here. No static so far. Yes, and we've been asked, Grant, please email turtlepods@gmail.com, turtlepods@gmail.com, and Laura would like to send you a shirt, a Turtleboy shirt, to your address. So email turtlepods@gmail.com, and Laura will take care of you. Okay? So he's an honorary turtle now. I'm an honorary towel. He's an honorary turtle. So it's great to see him out there asking good questions like that. The press today was all independent media, and I love it. I love it. It was Rebecca Lavoie. It was Dina. It was Erica Walsh. It was Justice Served, Mike Bryant, right? And it was Grant. It was Towel News Network. And it was like they were the ones out there asking the questions, good questions too. And where was the mainstream media? They're down, and they're watching. The Lindsey Clancy trial is very important. Don't get me wrong. But I've been to jury selection before. It's like watching paint dry. It is fucking boring. I watched one juror get picked in the Kearney trial, and that was Charlie Deloach. That's it. The rest of them, I didn't see any of them get picked because it's fucking boring. I would argue today was a pretty big day. But hey, people do what they got to do. You know, they got to do what they got to do to hustle. So, okay. So we got a lot to get to. If you guys want to have your messages read out loud to the class, click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy. I've also posted on the Twit-Twat the Give Send Go, which I can't pin in here because we have the Turtle Chat posted. And you can feel free to donate to that as well. I'm not sure if I'll be able to read the messages on there as they come in, although we do have a couple that have been posted since. We got $11 from Corinne, says free Turtleboy. Heidi sends 50 and says we are in the fight with you, Turtleboy. You'll succeed in the battle and be able to tell the full story afterwards. So thank you so much for that. What else do we have here? Let's see if we have a turtle touch. Quizzy sends $20, goes, listen, Turtle Boy, after replaying the Saturday episode, it got me thinking. Maddie's entire argument sits on a circular reasoning principle, meaning that in order to petition the government, you had to accuse the House defendants. Therefore, this cannot stand as defamation alone, since the basis of that is in order to expose injustice, you had to accuse them of wrongdoing. You couldn't have petitioned the government otherwise, saying they're innocent in investigating. That's a good point. They wanted me to go to the government and petition them and be like, the McAlberts did it. But even they would say that's defamatory because that's what Kearney did, right? It's like we're in court and we're like, yeah, I mean, so you could tell some people that they did it, but not others. I mean, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Yeah, and the Lindsey Clancy trials. I mean, I don't fuck with that. Like I covered the Lindsey Clancy story when it first happened. It's heartbreaking. It's fucking heartbreaking. I can't, and I have mixed feelings about it. What she did is heinous and disgusting. I just don't believe that she, for a second, that like Patrick Clancy, her ex-husband, is testifying for, who has apparently remarried, and that poor fucking guy is testifying on her behalf. That poor fucking guy. And, it's just, I can't fuck with that case. It's too sad. It's too fucking sad. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. And it's just, because it's just the worst story ever. That's what it is. And I can't watch that and watch her and be like, she's a monster. I can't do it. Right? Because I don't think she is. I think she's fucking sick. And I think that's what Patrick Clancy testified to, that he said, he told the New Yorker, I didn't marry a killer. I married someone who got sick. And it's just like, how horrible. How horrible. That guy lost everything, man. Everything. And if he feels that way, who am I to feel otherwise? That's the way I view that. And I can't do it because I'm not rooting for her. You know what I mean? I can't root for her. She killed her kids. How can I root for her? What, you know what I mean? How can I root for her after what she did? How can I root for someone? I can't root for someone like that. She killed 3 of her fucking kids, man. Horrible. The worst thing imaginable. But at the same time, I don't think it scares the shit out of me that somebody who was perfectly normal before that could turn into a monster like that because of mental. You'll never convince me that was not some that she was a very, very sick person suffering from some horrible mental health affliction. And that she's going to be in mental hell the rest of her life. And you look at the pictures of her family before that, and it's just goddamn awful. Awful. I can't watch it, man. I'll watch some of it, I'm sure, but it's just all going to be some of the most horrific testimony ever mixed in with mental health experts and stuff like that. And people are well, yeah, it's like people, you can root for her because she was poisoned by those drugs that changed her. Yeah, but she still killed 3 of her kids, man. It just sucks. And what's going to happen? Like, she's dangerous, isn't she? I mean, what are she going to go free? She's going to walk the streets? What's going to happen with her? You know what I mean? What's going to happen to her? Like, what's the correct outcome for this thing? Even if it is determined that she was, all fucked up from mental health and drugs and all that. Okay. She still killed 3 of her kids. Then what? How does that work? She's going to be acquitted and go free. How's that going to work? At least Dr. Laposada's back. That's true. Dr. Laposada will be back. So it's just, I can't do it. I have kids of my own. I can't do it. I can't watch it. So anyway, that's that. It wasn't one of these things where some people kill their kids to be like, that just to be free, like Chris Watts, like he did it because he wanted a new fucking life, and like just new girl and whatever, like it just kills, like that's whatever. That's fuck them, obviously. But anyway, that's just my thoughts. Oh, anyway. All right. So thanks for that. Next. We have here Allison sends $25, goes, together we stand. Yes, we do. Brittany sends $5 and goes, hello, Turtle Boy. I'm praying your case will be dismissed. I want to motion a concern of mine. You should try to change December 7th date because it's tight. You have to do jury selection, testimony, long videos, and deliberations before the week of Christmas, or do jury selection early. I don't know how long jury selection is going to take. Jury selection is going to start December 7th. So I don't know how long that's going to take to pick a full jury. I don't know. Kearney took 2 or 3 weeks. So there's going to be a lot of people. It's going to be a Norfolk County jury. I am constitutionally allowed to have a Norfolk County jury, even though it doesn't have to take place in Norfolk County. It sounds, from the sounds of it today, it sounds like this judge is inclined to have it in Boston because why should he be inconvenienced? Everyone else can be inconvenienced instead. So that seems to be the path that we're headed down. I don't care where it's held. I mean, I do. Obviously, I would much prefer it be in Dedham, but I don't think he gives a shit about that because cost-wise, it is much more expensive to park in Boston every day. And the fucking costs are going to be astronomical if I have to do a trial in Boston. So we are going to really have to kick it up a notch, man. So sign up if you haven't already for the golf tournament. You want to show your support? Come to the fucking golf tournament. August 3rd. I think it's happening 2 weeks from today. Sign up for that. Okay. So thank you for that, Brittany. Melissa sends $10, goes, I love both your intro and outro songs. However, I think they need to switch places for when you play them. The current intro has a nice mellow vibe. Okay, thanks. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. And she says, free Turtle Boy. Thanks, Melissa. Joyce sends $10, goes, did Brado tell you to remove your sunglasses for the press conference? You picked up on that? He did. I don't know why he said that. But, because I think I look cool. In this fucking sun, we were staring east directly at the sun. But yes, he did. He's like, take your sunglasses off. I'm like, okay. All right, next. Oksana sends $100. Thanks, Oksana, and says, you are going to win. No jury will ever find you anything but innocent. Those 12 people will be turtle riders for life. We, the people, are all turtle people for life. That's so true. That is so true. Will I get to interview one of my own jurors when I'm acquitted? Like the way I interviewed Paula? Because that's a good point. You know, if we go to a jury trial and I am acquitted by this jury, aren't they all going to be turtle riders automatically? They have to start watching my show after that. So there we go. So thanks. Next, Dustin sends $25, goes, Julie said it was scary after John died. Why say scary unless you are scared to hear the truth that might come to light? Yes, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Mary sends $10, goes, you inspire in Minneapolis. I'm so proud of you. You are discussing my daughter's law school classes. Okay. Love it. Thanks. Love Minnesota. Let me see if we have any cash apps here. Cash app is $ Uncle Turtle Boy, by the way. Huh. No. Don't have any. Okay, that's cool though. Yeah. All right. Anyway, all right, cool. What do we got here? All right. Anyone else wants to donate? The link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtle Boy, or you can just send to my Give Send Go, which is at the top of my Twitter. Okay. So consider this fundraiser. Every show's a fundraiser from now on. Let's fucking go. Okay. All right. Let's watch some Towel News Network here. Let's watch today's hearing. Let's break it down.
Hello, Your Honor. Timothy Brado for Aidan Kearney. To my left is our client, Aidan Kearney.
Good morning, Mr. Brado. Good morning, Mr. Kearney. Okay, folks, we have a number of things to do today. Not a lot of time, so let's jump right in. I want to remind, though, those of us who are joining us by Zoom, if you haven't registered for the SJC, rule 1.19, rebroadcast is inappropriate and unlawful. So,
Your Honor, I'm happy to go through in the order that you set forth in your order. I
Sure.
have had some discussions with counsel on some of the issues, and I don't know if you prefer to give that first.
let's go on this issue.
Yeah.
There was already a full litigated motion to dismiss both on McCarthy and Rodell, in which Judge Doolin drafted a 6 or 37-page decision, which is an exceptionally fulsome decision from the court, in which he found probable cause for the majority of the indictments, but dismissed all of them, including the one that seems to be at the heart of.
So this is the biggest hurdle we knew we were going to face going into this, is that they're going to be like, you've already done a motion to dismiss. Why are you bringing this forward now? And, you know, the truth of the matter is we missed it. And we also didn't get certain discovery the first time around. And so it's like, yes, should we have put this in the first motion to dismiss? Yeah. Okay. Missed it. There's a lot of shit going on. And quite frankly, a lot of shit was going on at the time, whatever. It's not an excuse, but that's the reason. And if you want, but the fact of the matter is there was fuckery afoot at the grand jury. So better get it right than not like address it at all. Like, do we care about what actually is right here? Or do we care about, well, you're not supposed to do a second one. You have a second bite at the apple. Like what's right is right, period.
These motions, that is to say, against Mr. Proctor. So the first issue is this: under Rule 13, and the Commonwealth versus Del Santos, which I'm sure you reviewed, which is 492 Mass 242, 2023 case. The matter was not raised. It's considered waiver. So tell me why.
Somebody said sorry, Grant, but people said the sound on justice served. I just want to try the sound on justice served. Hold on. But I don't see. Oh, uncut. Oh, he's got it. Oh, wow. Wow. This is interesting.
This court is now open. Please see it.
Oh, wow.
Good morning, Your Honor. Before the court is the matter of the Commonwealth versus Aidan Kearney on Norfolk County dockets 2382 CR 313 and 2582 CR 88. Counsel for the record, please.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Cosgrove. Including the one that seems to be at the heart of a number of these motions, that is to say, against Mr. Proctor. So the first issue is this: under Rule 13, and the Commonwealth versus De Los Santos, which I'm sure you've reviewed, which is 492 Mass 242, 2023 case. If the matter was not raised, it's considered waived. So tell me why. I understand the issues with Ms. Peters may have been disclosed post that hearing, at least to some extent. Tell me why the other issues aren't waived under De Los Santos and Rule 13.
It's interesting that he brought that up because we went into this kind of thinking we weren't going to talk about the crusty panty stuff a lot because it's just too convoluted. We were going to focus on the grand jury fuckery that, you know, they lied about the titles. It's just outrageous. But the judge seemed to be much more interested. He seemed to think that the crusty panty stuff was a lot more problematic than anything else. Did you guys notice that? He wanted that. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Was there another issue you wanted me to focus on as well?
No, that's to start. Then we'll get to the substance of it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, it is true that many of these issues existed in grand jury transcript and motions that were ruled upon by Judge Doolin. That is correct. And Rule 13 does state what it states, but there is case law which also states that the court does have the power to reconsider or reevaluate issues which were not brought to the court's attention. Now, in this particular case, there's no question that issues that related to the wiretapping, the uncharged wiretapping, for example, could have been raised. As the issues related to some of the videos, in this case, the name changes, the court should be aware that for whatever reason, that snuck by everybody, including Judge Doolin, including Mr. Cosgrove and some of his filings. And as soon as that was picked up, that is something that we put into writing and addressed right away. The reality is the grand jury in this case was not proper. I mean, I think, and I'll get to that in a minute after answering Your Honor's question about the waiver issue, but in terms of the form over substance.
Well, it's not really form over substance. It's substantive. Rule 13 is substantive. Del Santo is substantive. And there's a reason for that. And the Commonwealth in their opposition has pointed it out. Because you can't keep retailing the same ground over and over and over. Somebody got to move forward. So it's not just form over substance. So you got to give me a little bit more than that.
Well, Haskell permits it, Judge.
It does at the court's discretion.
Right.
But you got to have a reason.
Absolutely, there is discretion of the court to ultimately decide what should be done and what shouldn't. But where the court sees prejudice, the court respectfully should act. Now, again, with the videos that were mislabeled, the Commonwealth shouldn't benefit from what is.
And by the way, the crusty panty stuff, which clearly interested this judge the most, where do those come from? The Betero letters, which is so ironic because these idiots always make fun of them. They're like, oh, draw them in crayon. Well, the judge seemed kind of interested in the crayons, didn't he?
clearly deceptive conduct in terms of renaming items that, again, nobody saw. Judge Doolin himself referred to the names by their improper name during his ruling.
Which presumes that Judge Doolin was aware of those names and didn't find them to be of any substance because he watched the actual videos.
I don't know. Well, the actual videos that were presented to the grand jury, Your Honor,
Right.
were 40-second snippets
Yes.
of hours-long video, which were not grand jury exhibits. So, respectfully, there's no way that Judge Doolin could have watched those videos because Mr. Mello and
He watched the clips, no doubt.
yes, but the
That's-
clips are tiny segments.
That's when I'm like, I don't think he's getting this. It's like, yeah, he watched the video. We don't deny that he watched the videos. Of course, he watched the videos. The videos are the problem. The videos are snippets. Again, we need to go watch this real quick. Okay. If you haven't watched this video entitled Turtleboy's Witness Intimidation Charges, what the mainstream media didn't report, a video I published on, what date was this? March 4th of 2025. Here are some examples of what happened. Okay.
With money, with that,
A
live stream. See for yourself. Just made it seem like I was ageist. These charges really are. The Commonwealth made it seem like I was threatening to visit the home of witnesses relentlessly in a live stream. But actual video shows I was talking about returning to Canton to see a DPW worker who was giving me the runaround.
94. Turtleboy returns to Canton. This is a video posted shortly after Kearney visited homes of witnesses. This is not my
This is not my last trip to Canton. Again, this is what got me indicted. These videos got me indicted.
last trip to Canton. I will be back. I'll be back. Get used to this. These people think, pardon me, these people think I'm fucking around. You haven't seen the last of me. Get used to it. Get used to it at the 119 mark.
They
That
combined
sounds dastardly.
sentences from two different clips. I will be back was encouraging people not to be afraid of the McAlberts. This is not my last trip to Canton. I will be back. And more, I think people are getting, like a year or so ago, people didn't want to cooperate with the Karen Reed defense team because like, yeah, it's easy to keep my head down and, whatever, and keep a low profile. But now, now they're like, fuck it. We've made people realize, like, you don't have nothing to be afraid of. The big bad monster's not going to bite you. We neutered their ass. They can't do anything. They're not so tough anymore, are they?
This is not my last trip to Canton.
Like, exactly. Like, that needs to be stated, right? That part you just heard was not played for the grand jury. That people were scared. That was the intimidators were the McAlberts. There was an element of fear in Canton from people like Tom Beatty and Lucky Loughran who didn't want to talk, who were intimidated because the McAlberts were using their influence and their bullying in town to get do not talk. What is Erin Beatty saying? She's telling people about that call. Tell her to shut the fuck up and put a dick in her mouth. That's what they were doing to the townsfolk until Daddy came along. And all of a sudden, I just made these people realize you don't got to, the big bad witch is dead. Munchkins, come out and play. That's what I'm saying. I'll be back. Listen.
I will be back. I'll be back. Get used to this. These people think, pardon me, these people think I'm fucking around. You haven't seen the last of me. Get used to it. Get used to it at 119 mark.
These people think I'm fucking around. You haven't seen the last of me. Get used to it. Get used to it. But the Commonwealth makes it seem like I'm talking about harassing the McAlberts, which obviously sounds bad. But this was intentionally deceptive.
Right.
I was actually referring to a DPW employee who was giving me the runaround. And I said that I would be back to get information on who plowed Fairview Road the night that John O'Keefe was killed.
I can leave a message.
Yep. I can leave a message and I'll get it to him. Now watch this. She goes, how do I spell the last name, sir? She had already written out my first name and spelt it correctly. She knows who I am. She didn't have to ask my first name. She didn't even have to ask what my last name was. She just asked how to spell it. She had already spelled my name. So she knows who I am at this point. People are messaging me now and they're saying that she is a friend. She lives in Tim Albert's neighborhood and she is best friends with the Weeks girls. That is the McCabe sisters. So this is what we're dealing with here. This is the home cooking. So I'll be back, Miss Miss Boys Regular. I'll be back. You haven't seen the last of me because he never called. Walshy never called me today.
Oh, they didn't put that part in. Walshy never called me. They just put, I'll be back. You haven't seen the last of me. And they claim I'm talking about the McAlberts. I'm not talking about the McAlberts. I'm talking about this woman. I still don't know her name. Boys Regular. Okay. She's a government employee who is giving me the runaround. And I'm there to ask about who plowed Fairview Road the night that John O'Keefe was killed. I know the answer is Lucky Loughran. I'm trying to speak to somebody about it that will admit this. And she's like, nope, Walsh isn't here. Nobody's here. Trotta's not here. Nobody's here. And I'm like, I'll be back. I'll be back. They had to blatantly lie by playing that small snippet. I'll be back. I'll be back. That's all they played.
Trotta never called me. If you think you're going to get rid of me that easily, you're badly mistaken. I will literally sit there all day. All day. We'll order Chinese. I'll make a day of it. I'll just sit there all freaking day because he's got to come back sometime. I'll be like, I've unfinished business. We didn't see Megamotion today. I'll be back. Like, get used to this. Like,
yeah, you know, it's like we didn't like include every detail of what wasn't played and what was played. It was 88 pages long to begin with. And like, would you like it? I mean, shouldn't there be? It doesn't matter what, like, yes, all this shit would have helped. The fact of the matter is you didn't play anything. If all of this shit helped you, why not just play the whole thing?
These people think I'm fucking around. Like I'm Mr. Internet guy.
Oh, that.
Like, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to write blogs all day. And it's okay. It's just writing blogs and just ignore them, whatever. No. I live an hour away. It's not, I got a Lexus now.
Oh,
it's not a
look
problem.
at you.
It's got great mileage and a good engine. I'll be there in an hour. No problem. Like I'll get used to it. Get used to it.
Get used to it, I say.
The Commonwealth alleges I intimidated Chris Albert.
So yeah, with this one, I want to get to the intent part where they talk about intent. All right. Listen to this. Right. There we go. Shame. Shameful man right there. Chris Albert.
To commit witness intimidation, you must attempt to impede, obstruct, or interfere with a trial.
Ooh. Okay.
Brian Tully told the grand jury that my speech was witness intimidation because I said, quote, I don't want this to go to trial.
Because that's a big thing. They have the hardest part for them is to prove intent. Okay. Oh, it's boring. Banned for life. Banned. That is an unacceptable opinion. Banned for life. Okay. So, Brian, so I don't want this to go to trial, I said. So they need to show intent. And that's going to be hard for them to do because they can all say we're emotionally harmed. That means shit if you can't prove that I intended to do that. Right? And so that I intended to harm you so that you don't testify and the trial doesn't go forward. And so this is the best quote they have from me is I don't want this to go to trial. Okay. Well, let's hear, because that's the clip that they played to the grand jury. What about the whole thing?
Episode 604, entitled Colin Albert Drops Out of School, Brian Higgins Flipping, is the end near. I said from the beginning, I don't want this to go to trial. That is this defendant's words himself. I don't want this to go to trial, referencing the Karen Reed case.
But the Commonwealth intentionally left out that I was speaking in favor of a motion to dismiss.
Oh.
I clearly stated that I would love for this to go to trial because it would be entertaining.
Oh, yeah.
But that I thought the ethical and moral thing to do was to dismiss the case.
Oh, look at you, all ethical.
I've said from the beginning that I do not want this to go to trial. Not that I fear her getting found guilty or anything like that, but just that's a sham. Like it should never go. Like this should be dropped.
So all they played was the part that said, I don't want this to go to trial. That's it. They don't play anything that comes after that. They didn't play this.
If there's any justice in the world, these charges should be dropped.
Oh.
And the people that actually did this should be charged for it.
Oh, why didn't you play this?
At the same time, like how long can this go on for? Like, and how much stress does this take on a human being? Like this has to be putting years on Karen Reed, like mentally. So for her sake, it's like, wouldn't the best thing for her be to just get this over with? Like, let's fucking dance.
Oh, and have a trial.
Let's dance.
Oh, and
like, if you were her, like, don't like, let's go. Let's fucking do it. Like, I understand.
Oh, so have a trial. So have a trial. That's what you're saying. Oh, but they just told me that your intent was not to have a trial. And then you're saying that there should be Oh.
See, I'm not wanting to, and this has been my position from the beginning, because I've thought about being in this position before, and just the roller coaster that must be happening in your stomach in those few hours where you're sitting there waiting for a jury verdict to come back. Like, and you see, like when Kyle Rittenhouse was exonerated, like it was authentic. He broke down crying. Like it was crazy. Like it's just like so much can change in one word. And either with not just if the word not is in there, isn't in there, your whole life is over. Like it's like imagine that life in prison, or you go on to become a very wealthy person, and that's what she will be after this, a very wealthy person, and deservedly so. Book deals and got movie rights and God knows what she'll get out of this, or life in prison. Now, there's like a 99.99%
Stay away
chance
from Nick
it would be
Rocco.
the first one,
Just
not like
stay
the
away
president.
from Nick
But
Rocco. Okay.
would you want that? Like, would you get on a plane if you thought there was a 1% chance that plane would crash?
No.
Would you want to get on that plane?
No.
You know, wouldn't you rather just like, if like, I'll just fucking drive? But then driving's expensive and you're stuck in traffic and you're like, fuck it, I'm jumping on a plane. This isn't worth it. And that's kind of the position that I think she's in. And like, it's selfish on my part and on all of our part, I think, that we would love to see a trial.
Oh,
like,
you
obviously
would?
that would be great for us. Like,
Wait, you would love to see a trial? I thought they said that your intent was to not go to trial. Why didn't they play that for the grand jury? What are they hiding? Why are they being deceptive to the grand jury? Why are you? And the judge today said something to the effect of, shouldn't the grand jurors figure that out on their own? What? Like, what are they? Have you met people before? You think people are just going to be like, well, there's got to be more than that, sir. Show me the whole thing. I want to hear the whole thing. Nobody's going to say that. They're just going to be like, well, I guess yeah, that sounds pretty bad. That sounds pretty bad. So like as if a bunch of grand jurors could be like, hold on, sir. Are you trying to sneak one by us? Are you trying to hide something from us there, Mr. Tully? Nobody's going to say that because we trust our institutions. That's the whole point. Our institutions have betrayed us. They've betrayed us.
it would be wild and it would be so entertaining. And we could watch Alan Jackson just freaking eviscerate. Oh, can you just, like, I get hard thinking about it, man, about thinking about what Alan Jackson and David Unetti and Les Little will do to Michael Proctor on the stand.
And that is exactly what I'm saying here. I go, I was being empathetic to her mental health condition. I go, I don't think it's right because I believe she's innocent. And even though it would be very entertaining for me and all of us, because it turned out to be very entertaining. It was a highly publicized trial that millions of people watched from around the world. Turtleboy was right? Even though I love that, I still think it was wrong to do to her. She is human after all. She shouldn't have had to be put through that. That's wrong to do to people. I'm worried about her mental health, right? She's all fucked up from it. That's not witness intimidation. That's being human. That's what that is.
Or Jennifer McCabe.
Listen to this guy. He's getting.
I get turned on thinking about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
it's so exciting.
You got
it's so exciting.
Keep it in your pants.
I think I also think about Kearney's father.
So not only do I want to see a trial, in that same clip, which they didn't play, I talk about getting sexually aroused by the thought of a trial. That's how much I wanted to see a trial, that it was literally making my dick hard. Like the thought of a trial, like I am going to fix 1 million fridges tonight. That's how that trial, line them up. Let's go. We're fixing fridge after fridge after fridge tonight. That's how much the thought of Jennifer McCabe on the stand with Alan Jackson, that's what it did to me. It was better than porn. Okay. I wanted it bad. And they're out here being like, he didn't want a trial. That was his intent. Bitch, it was the exact opposite. Play the tape. They didn't play the tape.
And a brother and what they're going through. And it's not as fun for them. And so they would obviously much rather just see this get dropped. But I don't know if that's going to happen. You know what I mean? So it's like, let's just fucking get in a room and fuck. Let's just do it. Let's just get this over with. Let's go. And whoever wins, wins. And we know who's going to win. You're not going to find, you are not going to find 12 people that are going to believe, yeah, she fucking did that.
The Commonwealth claims I harassed and intimidated Michael Proctor. Watch that whole video if you haven't got the chance. I mean, this video shows all of them in the context of this all. Okay. About everything that was hidden from this grand jury. Everything. It's wild. Okay. Back to so none of that was shown. And, of
larger videos that, again, when we get to the real meat of what I want to discuss with the court, would show the full context on the critical issue in this case, which is only one, and that's Mr. Kearney's intent. That's the only issue that was really before the grand jury, and none of that was seen in Judge Doolin's opinion because none of that was before.
It wasn't raised.
Well, it wasn't raised, but it wasn't known by anyone. Now, again, could it have been? Yes, but the court has the discretion.
But it was known because Judge Doolin referred to it by the titles that you think are inflammatory.
Yes, those are the names that he was provided by the Commonwealth that were changed. Those were the improper names that the Commonwealth knew in advance were not the proper names and were changed. And ultimately, Your Honor, as a matter of discretion, there's no prejudice to the Commonwealth here by having this. I suspect this argument, which is a fair argument to make, is their primary argument because they don't want to talk about what actually occurred in the grand jury. And the fact of the matter is, everybody sees it, everybody knows what it is, and it ought to be addressed. If there's no prejudice to the Commonwealth, the court should hear it. No indictment should be tolerated when it is rife with misleading evidence, distorted evidence, statements of prosecutors and police witnesses saying, in my opinion, it was this man's intent to commit witness intimidation. That's outrageous behavior in front of a grand jury. And when you get down to brass tacks in this case, that's all that this is about. They misled the grand jury on the only issue that matters, which is whether Mr. Kearney's intent was to commit witness intimidation or not. The conduct at issue is open and shut. It's the videos, not the videos that were submitted into the grand jury. Those are tiny snippets. The conduct and the context of Mr. Kearney's intent are contained in the actual videos. And what you have at this point, it's very similar to Odell itself. In essence, you have prosecutors cherry picking 30 seconds they like out of a 2-hour video and saying this proves his intent was to intimidate witnesses, but not letting the grand jury have access to the other 2 hours, which show him saying, I want to bring awareness to a miscarriage of justice involving Karen Reed. I'm petitioning the government to address that. I believe that these police officers are corrupt. We're doing this to bring justice for these people. The grand jury had a right to that. And the best example of this, Your Honor, to get a full picture of what you're dealing with is all of the picketing counts in this case are from this so-called rolling rally. That entire video, the whole rally was recorded, video recorded by Mr. Kearney, literally the crime, if you will. They didn't introduce that video, but what they did do was admit 58 seconds of the rolling rally, which the honest name of that video on YouTube was Canton, the rolling rally justice for Karen Reed and John O'Keefe. They took 58 seconds of that video. They introduced it as the title of that video is Don't Feel Sorry for the O'Keefes. That's not evidence. But if you look at the grand jury testimony and the transcript, the way Mello and Tully did this is Tully said, the name of the video is Don't Feel Sorry for the O'Keefes. It's contained in a folder literally titled Intent. Literally
titled Intent. Like, don't feel sorry for the O'Keefes. The O'Keefes aren't even, they didn't try to indict me for the O'Keefes. They're not saying I intimidated the O'Keefes. What other reason is there to play that and see the video is titled that, other than to make like this guy's a bad guy? We know that the McAlberts aren't sympathetic, but what about the O'Keefes? Their brother died. Paul's brother died, and he's being mean to Paul. Like Peggy O'Keefe, think about poor Peggy. Paul's over there. John's over there. John's dead. Like that's what they're saying here. It's just like, oh my God, this is outrageous. And honest people wouldn't do this. Like, why are you doing this if I'm so guilty? And where did they get these names from? Like, this matters. So I want to show you something. I don't know if anyone's ever seen this before. Okay. This is from a live stream from 2024. Okay. On some channel I've never heard of before. Some weirdo named Artie. I guess is this guy's name. I don't know. It looks like a weirdo. Let me pull him up here. Okay, some weird. Okay, let's see. I've never seen this stream before, but I'm going to pull it up here. Okay, Artie's corporate fiction. Okay, and nope. So yeah, that guy's, keep him away from your kids, obviously. Let me see. Can you guys hear that audio? Let me know if you can hear this audio. If not, I'll change it. Who says, Mom? Can you guys hear this? Nothing. Okay. Let me change my input for my microphone. This again. Okay. All right. Settings, audio. Testing 1, 2, 3. You guys can hear testing. Okay, cool. What about now? Let me know if you can hear this now. Can you hear this? Can you hear this, guys? Can you hear this? You still can't hear it? Oh, hold on. How about now? Can you hear it now?
For Twitch and Kick as well. Oops.
How about now? Hopefully now. Okay, now you can. Now you can hear it. Okay, cool. Okay.
Oh no. Where did I?
All right. So he plays some shit of mine. He takes a position. I'm guilty. But I want you to notice the chat.
This is Jen. She's in Aruba. And there she is with her two oldest daughters, who I'm sure are going to grow up and be just like her. They're on a family vacation there. And she's monitoring everything we're doing. And it's just like, it makes me so happy when I posted this, because it's just a reminder to her that now you can't leave. We're not going to allow you, Jen, to live a normal life. The worst thing you ever did was go down to the courthouse and try to get an order on me. That's the dumbest thing you could have done.
True.
Now I know how much it's bothering you. And that is like a green light to just accelerate. Like, okay, now we got you.
Am I even logged into an account and not logged in? Okay.
Everyone's got rings.
So, all right. So I know this is an awkward place to talk about it. And I'm sure the Law and Crime Network obviously missed out on a lot of other details that have been.
Okay. So I want to show you a comment. I don't see it there in the current live chat, but I got a screenshot of it. I don't know if live chat comments can be taken down or not. We'll find out. But I mean, it's obviously a retarded chat. I was in jail when this was put out. And I want to show you somebody who appeared in the chat who you might recognize on this. And they said something interesting. Here it is. Okay. This is a screenshot from that chat. See any names that look familiar in that chat? Oh, what does that say? Oh, it's Mass Mafia Official. And they say, I am in contact with all of Aidan's victims, including these witnesses, every day. This video he is playing, I made for the grand jury. It helped indict him. That's her words. I made this video that this guy is playing, bragging about it. I'm so proud of this. I made this video for the grand jury. It helped indict him. I made that. Me, forger of documents. I made this. This is a 2024, January 2024 live stream. Kurt from Uncivil Laws in the chat there. Krusty Panties is in the chat, and she is bragging about doing this to me. I did this. So proud. She's very proud of herself. I did this. I sent that in. I gave that to the grand jury. She's bragging about it. I just got this sent to me today. And I got this sent. I also saw these. This is from Discord. Okay. She is the red commenter in the chat. Goes by Linda. She can change her name on here all the time. This is in her Discord chat. This is in January of 2023. This is before Karen Reed. Okay. She was constantly trying to get me charged with something. And so she had this private Discord server in which somebody flipped. A woman by the name of Michelle. She flipped and has given me these screenshots that she has. And Michelle says here, like in this chat, Krusty says she's in the red. Okay. And she goes, I think this may be what ends him. This is in January of 2023. She says this. She has been trying to end me for like, that's her life mission, is ending me. This is the Karen Reed case is just her latest attempt to end me. She's been doing this forever. It's been an obsession. It's retarded. And no law enforcement has taken her seriously until she found the most corrupt law enforcement institution in the state, the Norfolk County DA's office. Okay. Because they don't mind associating with somebody like her. Right. And she goes, I think this may be what ends him. What are they talking about? Something related to Leah Genduso here. Right. Leah Genduso cannot fucking quit me. I exposed that she was a corrupt state trooper in 2018. She lost her job over it. She reached out to me 2 years later, wanted to come on my show for an interview to fix her image. She did. I banged her. And then that went badly. And ever since then, she revenge porn of me and has been obsessed with me since 2020. Cannot take my name out of her mouth. Cannot do it. Befriends any woman that I've been in a relationship with, stalked Lauren Murray, went to Lauren Murray's house, took pictures of her, right? Took pictures of her house. We have those. She took a picture of it from her car. You can see in the rear view mirror there, the reflection of her white automobile at the time. Boom. Okay. She reached out to Lindsey. We saw that in Lindsey's extraction, right? And tried to recruit her. I'm going to introduce you to Kate. We have the whole crew over here doing this, right? And of course, now 5150 will be the new friend. It's just what they do. It's just like, I have this effect on women. They cannot fucking move on. And so she's here saying, Krusty saying, we're going to get him for something related to Leah here. I think this might end him. And then Shiz, who is dump truck, goes, I don't get why her police department won't do it. Whatever they would just bring bullshit about me to the police constantly. And the police would just not do anything because it's fucking retarded. And like, that's not illegal. I don't know what you want me to say. And they're like, why aren't they doing anything? And then, that sounds very optimistic of the investigator. Hope there will be something positive answers now. She must go there and report him. And then Krusty says, it's an internet-based crime. If he gets charged, they may order him offline. This is literally her thought process. This is her whole goal. Is like, I'm going to get him kicked off the internet. Like a judge could be like, you are not allowed, you're banned from the internet for life. That's her goal. Then she goes, if he gets convicted, it may be for a meaningful amount of time. So like she was constantly trying to get charges on me all the time for everything I do until she found, and again, every police department laughed at her until she found until she found Yuri Buchanan. Okay. This is the practice we need. She calls it practice. I'm practice. If we can take him out and learn from this, we can move on to bigger bad actors. I am filled with purpose today. So this is what this is her purpose in life every day, is to get me kicked offline and sent me to jail. Okay. And then she's like, here's a Google Doc of all the LGTB videos. And then this is, what was this guy's name? John something. Obach doxed him a while ago from Washington State. I forget John's name. He went by Biff Thunder Muffin on Twitter. It was like Krusty's right-hand man, some weirdo in Everett, Washington, and said, oh, I did get all those Facebook videos downloaded. There may be some Leah stuff on there. All his late 2019, early 2020 lives on YouTube are gone. No, they're not. I'll have a look. And then somebody goes, the police are becoming pretty slow to respond again. And this is an email that she posted from Detective Lieutenant well, Sergeant then, Evan Parker from the Holden Police Department, who she contacts constantly. He's kind of like the lead detective in town. And it says response for request for comment. He goes, good morning, Miss Peter. I will be in the office today and can be reached on my work line. It seems as though you are requesting the Holden Police Department comment about a case or report that you are looking into. And I want to advise you that unless the case involves you directly, we will not be able to answer any questions. Please reach out as I believe we can address some of your concerns for you. So they went to the Holden Police to report me for something involving Leah Genduso, and nothing came of it. And so Krusty contacts the police and is like, why aren't you, I'm a reporter doing a story and I want to know why you're not arresting Turtleboy. Why aren't you doing something about Turtleboy? Why aren't you arresting him? And the Holden police are like, yeah, bitch, this doesn't involve you. Go away. Like, that's what that email is saying. Go away. And she goes, I was working on an outline. This is Krusty in red for the video about Aidan and LG. I am emailing Holden police and Leah's local police for comment on their refusal to investigate and throwing out that I'm going to be airing this story to tens of thousands of people. She's so dangerous. Oh no. Picture like the Holden police or whatever fucking shitbum town Leah lives in. Their police being like, oh no, hope Krusty Panties doesn't write about me. I'm so scared. I guess I'll arrest Turtleboy now. What we need to do is, number one, lock down this story with clips of him, etc. Number two, find as many places online where we can promote this after it's done. Working title is Cyber Terror. Alt-right blogger terrorizes former Massachusetts state trooper. This is her fucking life. You've never seen this kind of fucking insanity before. This sort of obsession over a man who never fucked her, by the way. There's no reason. At least Leah can be like, whatever, you fixed my fridge. Okay, I'm a little fucking crazy over that. I'm a crazy white girl. Like, whatever. You know, I'm just one of those bitches. She can't. She has no excuse for this shit. Like, it's weird. They're like, oh my God. And what are they saying here? Okay. I have no memory. This is so Turtleboy Secrets is dump truck. Sorry to spam. We need anything to do with LG, Leah Genduso. She's got one shot at criminal charges. It needs to be solid as fuck. Trying to get everything compiled today so she can go make a report. Okay. Okay. This is what they do all day. And this is the person who's bragging that she is the reason that these videos are in front of the grand jury. She is the reason for this shit. Okay. Play some more.
And he did that approximately 30 times throughout this proceeding. Told the grand jury, this is proof of his intent. They literally asked questions and answers that talked about intent. They played 30 to 50 seconds of this video where he literally says, don't feel bad for the O'Keefes, but yet don't present the video of the crime. Why? What prosecutor?
But their allegation is that is the crime.
Your Honor, again, it goes to Odell. Literally, they can believe anything they want. They can allege anything they want.
But they're not alleging that the rest of the rally was intimidation. They're alleging those clips
of course.
Intimidation.
Right, but Your Honor, when they present it to the grand jury, it's tantamount to what happened.
They didn't play any clips of the rolling rally. The rolling rally is 2 hours and 7 minutes long. That's how long that video is. They played 58 seconds of it. And guess what? They didn't play any of my actual doing the rolling rally. The one part they played was a snippet when I was in the car talking to Richie, telling him that I no longer feel bad for the O'Keefes. That's it. They didn't play anything. So how do they even know what happened at the rolling rally? Well, that came from the witnesses. Jennifer McCabe testified about what happened at the rolling rally. And yet there's a video of it and they didn't play it. That would be like if somebody robbed a bank and live streamed themselves doing it. And then when they went to indict him, they didn't share the video of him robbing the bank. Bro, If I'm such a dangerous, why not play the video? Play the video. Show what happened. Why are you so afraid of showing my witness intimidation? I'm this big bad intimidator, and I'm stupid enough that I filmed it all, but yet you won't play it. Why won't you play the whole thing? That's our point here. It's dishonest. It's dishonest to do this.
Odell with the police report, where we decide we like sentence 1 because we think it proves his intent, but we don't like sentences 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we're just going to keep that from the grand jury. In Odell, that was deemed to have impaired the integrity of.
But police report and a video are very different things. We often encounter situations at the grand jury where they have hours and hours of videotape, but they only play certain clips.
But they didn't tell the grand jury it's available for you. The point is, they told the grand jury the name of the video is, jury influence is another one, which was actually titled "Protesting Michael Morrissey." Big difference. A video that was 5 days after D.A. Morrissey made a statement to the press, which was improper. He gives a 2-hour video and says, I'm trying to bring awareness, trying to do this and do that. And this is in August of 2023, well before a trial, and says, absolutely, I want to influence the public and the jury pool. And they take that little snippet. They may have a theory that enables them to say, we believe that's proof of his intent. That's fine.
No, it's the judge. It's not that he's not getting it. It's that he's made his mind up. That's it. I knew that going into this. I knew when in January that he made his mind up. He wants a trial. He clearly wants a trial. It's like, we're going to trial. This is just an annoyance that we got to get through before we go to trial. That's what he wants. It's like the odds of me getting these charges dismissed has always been small. I mean, things don't get dismissed around here. Karen Reed didn't get dismissed. That's it.
What's not permissible, though, is to
and you know what the irony of this is? They say that I'm trying to influence Karen Reed's jury pool by discussing the case openly on a platform, right? Well, potential jurors are going to see this. Is that influencing the jury pool? Well, the jury pool is composed of people, and if people watch this, then I suppose, yeah, a lot of people raised their hand when they said they'd heard of the Karen Reed trial, and we're not allowed to be jurors. That's what the whole voir dire is for. Like, that's you weed those people out. Well, what do you think this hearing is? If not influencing my jury pool, right? Isn't that all this hearing is? We know he's going to deny it. We assume he's going to deny it, right? So then what are we doing here? Isn't this whole thing just airing out the facts of my case, which could hypothetically influence my jury pool? What if people in Norfolk County are watching this, right? They're going to be influenced, right? Influenced by what? Facts. How can you be influenced by facts? I guess if you want to say that that's not illegal to be influenced by facts. What do you think commercials are? Like, that's insane. It's just like, you can't talk about facts. It will influence a jury pool. Okay. Also known as like saying factual things.
In the following way, to say, literally, Your Honor, I can read to you, there's a literal question and answer, which is very important. For example, on December 19th, question from Mello to Tully, before he plays all of these videos, which are misnamed, cherry-picked, do you have any knowledge of incidents which you feel are intimidating of a witness with respect to any particular witness? I do. Question, those are on video. Answer, they are. Play those for the grand jury. So now we've just told the grand jury, I think his intent was to intimidate witnesses. Then what Tully does again and again through direct intentional questioning of Mello, it's not volunteered, is to say that these videos are named inaccurately, and they're in the memo. You see on page 62 and 63 of the motion all the times that they did this. They play the snippet, and then when it's over, they tell, or before they do it, they tell the grand jury, these are from a folder marked intent. He didn't do that.
So, Mr. You have to give the grand jury some credit. The grand jury understands that a defendant is not going to create a folder who says intent. They had to know the prosecution created that.
That's my point, Your Honor.
But give the grand jury some credit. They understand that.
Your Honor, the point is, respectfully, when a police officer tells the grand jury, in my opinion, this man's intent was this. I have a folder with proof of his intent. It came from that folder. I'm going to tell you a false name of the video that I renamed or some third party working with him renamed, whichever the case may be. And then you don't tell the grand jury that this was renamed by us, put in this folder by us. I'm playing you 30 seconds, but I'm not going to give you the rest of the video. And I would refer the court, this case is cited in the memo of law that went with the motion Bleakney, the appeals court case, not the SJC, the lower appeals court, where they cherry pick a portion of a statement of a defendant, left the full flash drive in front of the grand jury, but never alerted them to the contents of it. And in that case, the appeals court found it impaired the integrity by hiding the ball. Here,
You're going to go there. Mr. Better, if you're going to go there, then you got to talk to me about Shaquille Brown, which is the SJC, in which the prosecutor dumped in at least 100 pages of prison records, in which the prosecutor dropped in telephone logs, all of which had never been looked at or never been read.
Shaquille
And the
Brown.
SJC said, well, it wasn't so good, but that's okay because it didn't change the analysis of the evidence, which takes us back. And this is the
yes, sir.
So now, this is the difficulty that you have. So you've already, this is why Delos Santos does matter, and it is substantive, okay? This is why Rule 13 is substantive, because you already had a very thoughtful, all right, a bulwark, if you will, from a judge, all right? A very thoughtful judge who examined in detail the entirety of the grand jury, found it to be free from prejudice, and more importantly, found that the evidence was substantial enough to issue an indictment. So that brings us back to the court's analysis in Shaquille Brown, which I'll give you the side if you like.
I have
490, 171, and I'm very familiar with that case, all right? In that case, the court finds clearly they shouldn't have done any of those things, but finds it didn't impair the integrity of the grand jury, which does, and this is why Delos Santos is substantive, because Judge Doolin's already made that determination. So you got to get around that.
I'm happy to, Your Honor. The difference with Shaquille Brown and Judge Doolin's decision and why it matters here is context is everything in terms of his intent. Oh, he is
But in Brown, they're trying to show joint venture, and they dump in prison records they haven't even read.
Judge, I'm bringing it to this case, okay?
Yeah, but this is the SJC telling me this.
I understand that, but the facts here matter and the context matters. And just because the prosecution has, a one sentence explanation of what they say and a grand jury ultimately determined was proof of intent after they were told what his intent was.
This man is worth every penny, and you're just seeing it now. He's just like, I understand that, Your Honor. Like, he just explains everything perfectly to a judge this is a hot bench, which is not an insult. Right? He's like, I understand what you're saying, Your Honor. I'm obviously familiar with Shaquille Brown. I'm familiar with Delos Santos. I understand that. Very politely saying that you're missing the point. Right? That's what he's trying to say here.
By the prosecutor, by all the reasons that we spoke about earlier, context is everything. If there is a long statement that is talking about protesting and bringing awareness and making jokes and all kinds of things, and there's a comment in there that I like that comment, just give the grand jury the whole thing. The role of the grand jury is fact finder. The problem in this case is that Mello and Tully decided to be prosecutor, detectives, and fact finder.
The grand jury's not really fact finder. The grand jury's more of a gatekeeper. But go on.
But they have to judge respectfully.
They're not.
They have to find facts to support an indictment. And in this case, they literally did. But they were misled, and context matters. A grand jury is entitled not to everything in the world. It's clearly not a trial jury. We all understand that. But when you do it, you have to do it fairly. And they put their finger on the scales with evidence of his intent in terms of what they told the grand jury, what file it was in, the length of the video, the full context of the video, the uncharged crimes. The last piece of evidence in this case that they put in the grand jury was an uncharged crime of, again, the rolling rally video, which they didn't see fit to give the grand jury, which makes no sense. If anyone's prosecuted these cases and put in cases in the grand jury, that makes no sense. That's the crime. Give it to them. But what they did was they tried to suggest that he was harassing and intimidating the O'Keefe. So we're not even charged victims in this case. That's how they finished the grand jury. That is clearly a design to prejudice, to smear. They put in evidence of an uncharged wiretapping and read the statute that said this is punishable by 5 years and never gave a curative instruction, never withdrew that charge. Delos Santos or not, Your Honor, the question is, at what point do we not avert our eyes to what they did? They need to do it fairly.
But the judge has already looked at that.
But he didn't see that.
He didn't see
if
that
you look
part.
at Judge Doolin's decision, none of that is addressed because he, like everyone else, was misled. Moreover, Judge, I am focused on the grand jury. I'm going to answer the questions that obviously you're focused on. There was a second component to the motion for extreme government misconduct, and there's no reason why.
Well, I'll listen to the Peter stuff. I mean, I think if Peters wasn't known to, I think that's fair to discuss.
Well, it wasn't. I mean,
that came as a surprise when he's like, can we talk about K. Peter? Can we talk about Krusty? He's like, I don't really give a shit about the titles. That's what he said. None of that shit bothers me. I don't care about the titles. I don't care about the fact that only small clips were played, whatever. The Krusty stuff, you might have something there. It was bizarre. But
I mean, the whole point, but before I get to the merits of that motion would have been made anyway. So that, because we can't make a motion based on evidence of which we're unaware, obviously. And at that point, if you're making a motion to dismiss for extreme government misconduct, there's no reason why the court should not consider as a facet of the misconduct that occurred in this case, what occurred in the grand jury before. Now, as far as the Peter stuff, which I don't want to beat to death, and most of it is in the papers, the point is, all of that evidence should have been disclosed in early 2024, which was we're closing the deadline for discovery. That material didn't come anywhere near that timeline. It came in July of 2025 after numerous specific, very specific Brady demands and Discovery Rule 14 demands, they could not have been more specific.
So let me understand, what is the basis that you're asking me to dismiss? Is it for the discovery violations or for the substantive violations?
Well, it's for everything. On the second component of the motion, the indictments ought to be dismissed based on the impairment of the integrity of the grand jury proceeding, full stop. As far as the second component, based upon the lack of discovery, that prejudiced us from filing a full-throated motion the first time. The court should consider that in even hearing the grand jury component of it. But in any event, if the court is wondering why discovery was ordered to be completed in early 2024 and all these demands were made before, during, and after that time period, and stuff that is responsive is showing up in July of 2025 that we turn out to learn was in the possession of every single prosecutor on these cases in December of 2024, which is before the motion was filed in front of Judge Doolin. What is going on?
I consider these to be two separate categories. That's why I started with the issue of Peter's maybe something which is outside the Rule 13 and the De Los Santos analysis.
See, again,
So I'll give you an open field to discuss that.
Okay.
Again, he's just like, can we talk about Krusty, bro? Let's go.
Excuse me, Judge.
The Krusty thing interesting.
The evidence that exists or no longer exists from the third party that the court mentioned is extremely prejudicial to the defense. There is a strong argument that could be put forth if there were to be a trial in this case that this investigation was biased, it was shoddy, and that involves any number of things, one of which includes, from our perspective, which is a shockingly close relationship between a private civilian, Peter, who you mentioned, who has a hatred of Mr. Kearney that is beyond adjectives that I could even provide this court with. Not only that, this is a witness who has falsified evidence against him. Literally, this is not in dispute. It's in the motion. Has forged court filings to try to screw him in part of their fighting during their lives. Has attacked witnesses for the Commonwealth, Alberts, and tried to get him to say bad things about them when she, in fact, defamed them. And this person was basically holding Mr. Mello's hand. These are the messages that we got, amongst other things, telling him what to do. And when we got that affidavit from Tully,
his hand.
oh, well, I didn't open or click on any of these links. That's a problem for one reason, because they were in their possession, custody, and control. It ought to have been turned over. And what was contained, we don't know. But there has to be under Neal a reasonable basis to believe there might be something useful. And the reasonable basis you have is that the person who provided it to Tully that he claims he never opened has committed forgery, fraud, deception, and crimes against him. She's a dishonest person who is working hand in hand with the prosecutors in this case. Now, Tully says, I never opened it, and now the links are gone. And we were told in filings, it's been dismissed, it's been deleted by a third party, which presumably is Peter. And what are we supposed to do in now finding the evidence to support that defense? Just assume it's nothing helpful? Why would we assume that when this woman is bent on destroying him and commits fraud? What's that?
Isn't the shoddy work that he never opened?
That's amongst other things. But
yeah,
I said to you, Tully said that. That's not what Mello did. The emails that we got too late in the process literally show Mello and Peter talking, and he's asking her help. How do I open this? And Mello says, gee, thanks. He literally opened it. Opened what? Where is it? Tully says, I never opened it. It's deleted. Mello, very noticeably, never submitted in all the time the prosecution had to respond to the motion. And if the court remembers, they got many graces and deadline extensions to file. Never submitted a sworn statement explaining any of this. What we got instead was a hearsay statement where Mr. Cosgrove, and I say this with due respect to Mr. Cosgrove, was essentially cosplaying as Mello, saying, this is what it would be. That's not evidence in response. What was required is something from Mello under oath, and we've never gotten that. And that's very important too, Your Honor. One of the things that we asked for in the motion is, as an alternative, a hearing. Okay, if this was intentional, the court should factor that in. Now, how can the court make a finding whether this was intentional or not without hearing from Mello, Tully, Peter, anyone else who may or may not be involved in this?
Evidentiary hearing. I mean, that's one thing we push for. It's like, let's get an evidentiary hearing. Get these people in here. Get Krusty in here. Get Tully in here. He's saying that he named the videos. He's taking credit for it. It wasn't her. It was him. But yet she's saying otherwise. Like, so what is going on here?
How does this affect the grand jury presentation?
Well, Peter,
I just want to see the argument. I'm not.
As far as the grand jury goes, it's either Tully or Peter who renamed these files. Now, Tully knew the full name of the files.
But according to Tully, he doesn't open it. So I'm just trying to. You may have a separate argument. I'm not saying you don't. Okay, as to what the relationship between Mello and Peter was or was not.
Yeah, that's like the fourth time he said that. There, he's like, I think you're onto something with the Krusty thing. He likes the Krusty argument. You guys notice that? He likes that one,
trying to make sure
which is weird because I don't like. To me, she is annoying. You know what I mean? She's not like, I hate talking about her. She's like a disease that doesn't go away. You know what I mean? An annoying disease, like a gnat. Like, just go. You're fucking weird. Just go away. Get a life. You know what I mean? Like, you're beneath me. We're not on the same level. Me even acknowledging you is beneath me because I'm fucking Turtleboy and you're Krusty Panties. Like, we're not on the same level, you know? It is what it is. But, you know, she wanted to be, she literally made herself part of this, a story that had nothing to do with her.
Your argument. Is this part of the Odell, or is this some separate motion?
Well, on some level, it's a hybrid. I mean, there's clearly the Odell component.
I gotta understand what that hybrid is,
Right.
counsel. Like,
No,
you give me kind of a mishmash here with all sorts of stuff in it, and I'm trying to sort it out.
Judge, it's a standalone Odell motion, clearly, about impairing the integrity of the grand jury proceeding. We also filed.
But how does go on, I'm listening.
There is a second motion to dismiss for extreme and egregious government misconduct based upon.
Beats me, which a separate motion to dismiss based on what you filed, Mr. Bedrock.
No, Judge, it's a second point.
This is the problem with what you filed. We've discussed that already. I can't discern that there's a second motion to dismiss here. It looks like a big Odell.
Judge, we don't know what missing evidence we didn't get. And the argument that was put forth in Mr. Costco's response to this was that if you don't know, then there's no obligation for us to turn it over because there's no reasonable possibility to conclude that it would be favorable to you. And the point is, when it's evidence that was deleted, that was reviewed by Mello, Tully claims he didn't, and it comes from a source who hates him and commits acts of fraud and forgery against him, there's a reasonable basis to believe that something wasn't right in that evidence. We don't know. And this woman was assisting these people back right before, literally days before the grand jury, explaining to Mello how to use the evidence. What is that evidence? She sent a folder titled Intent. That may we don't know, but that may very well be the clips, the change names. She'll probably deny it. She'll go online and deny it and scream and yell about it. Tully says, I never looked at it. Mello is unheard of. He's just disappeared in the wind. There's no sworn statement from him. These people at a minimum should be called in, take oaths, and let's get to the bottom of it.
Well, I'm going to need a better motion than what I got in order to do that. Mr. Costco, what do you got to tell me?
Send me a better motion.
Well, just go through it. Sure. What do you think is important? Okay.
First thing,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, April, right? Like, how do I think a judge would react to Krusty? Yeah, he would not like her at all, clearly. So, but that's the sad part, is that, like, she's the best argument. Is like, he was most receptive to the Krusty argument, which to me, I'm the least fond of because I hate even involving her in any of this because that's what she wants. Her goal, you guys don't understand my history with her. Her goal is to be part of my story forever. My goal is for her to go away. Okay. We're not rivals. She's an annoyance to me. And like, her being part of her being an adversary to me, and kind of leeching onto my success by being my adversary is her life mission. You know, she had what, 600-700 followers before Karen Reed, and I had 25,000, right? But we grew proportionally. Like, I went from 25,000 followers to 160,000 followers, whatever, on however many I have. Okay. She went from 600 to 6,000, whatever the fuck she has. Like, my growth, she grew proportionally to my growth by being what she's always been, a disease that won't go away. And before Karen Reed, I just wanted her to go away. Just go away. You're a fucking annoying. You're a loser. I exposed you in 2020. You can't stop fucking thinking about it. Just go away. I don't want nothing to do with you. I have no intention of talking about you. You're fucking old news. I've left you behind. Like, there's nothing to talk about with you. But her entire goal was to just be, she will do this for the rest of her life. You saw those things in Discord. Does that seem like a well person to you? No, this is a person who wakes up every single day and is just like, Turtleboy, I have to, and sees nothing wrong with it. Doesn't think like, maybe I should do other things with my life. That's never crossed her mind. It never will cross her mind. This is what she will do forever, because that's the only thing that brings her relevance. A lot of these people are like that. It is the only thing that will ever bring them relevance. Why do you think Leah Genduso cannot stop talking about me? 5150. That's the same thing. For the rest of their lives, they will just talk about me. Gaffney's been doing it for almost a decade now. They cannot move on with their lives. I consume them every single day. That is the effect that I have on some of these people. Their entire lives are dedicated to me. They don't have a life. They don't wake up and think, what can I do for myself today? It's like, what can I do to destroy Turtleboy? That is all they think about. That is it. And We just keep adding names to the list of people on the, the aisle of misfit, unfuckable losers who will continue to do this. And they will never move on. This is just all they can do. But, you guys are entertained by this. Like every time she tweets, people go at her and they're like, you lost your kids. I don't do that. I used to do that a long time ago. I don't do that anymore because it got old. Newer people love that shit. They love going at it with Krusty. You don't understand. Every time you do that, she loves that shit. She loves being the villain. She fucking loves it. She gets it because that's all she has in life is being like the anti-Turtleboy villain. That's it. She doesn't have anything. So when you guys go at it with her, when she fucking loves, she lives for that shit. Lives for it. But it is what it is. Like you put her on the stand with this, the judge ain't going to think she's so cute. The judge is going to be like, you're fucking nuts. You're nuts.
Your counsel used the word cherry-picked. What that means to me is the Commonwealth picked relevant evidence to support the charges it was looking for. I don't have any real answer. I don't deny that was what, in this case, Mr. Kearney said and did and put on the air.
But why not give them the whole video?
Why not
give them the whole video?
Yeah, I'm glad.
Why not give them the whole video to watch?
I'm glad he asked this.
Select the clips. This is often the case.
I don't know what the reasoning was at the time.
I don't know.
But if you look at
does that sound like a good answer to you? I don't know. No, I don't know. The judge is like doing it like why not give him the whole video? I don't know. I wasn't there.
That the chart that Mr. Federer includes in his motion, his affidavit rather, it runs on for about 3 pages. There's lots of videos. They tend to go about 2.5 hours each. If we give them the whole video, there's lots of other material in there that language used by Mr. Kearney, whatever. It could be construed as prejudicial. I'm sure with your honors.
Motion eliminate to call me Mr. Kearney, please, to say my name right. Okay.
Already heard about reference to the O'Keefes.
What?
Commonwealth introduced this, and then they didn't indict him with respect to intimidation of the O'Keefes.
Wait, I got to hear this argument.
Give them the whole video. There's lots of his affidavit rather. It runs on for about 3 pages. There's lots of videos. They tend to go about 2.5 hours each. If we give them the whole video, there's lots of other material in there that language used by Mr. Kearney, whatever. It could be construed as prejudicial.
Oh, so they didn't play the whole video because they were looking out for me. Don't you know? They were looking out for me. They didn't play the whole video because the rest of the video was worse and it will prejudice me, and they don't want to prejudice me. They're very concerned with prejudicing me to the grand jury. They want to give me a fair chance, guys.
I'm sure with your honor has already heard about reference to the O'Keefes. And Commonwealth introduced this, and then they didn't indict him with respect to intimidation of the O'Keefes, and this was entirely inappropriate, et cetera, et cetera. I'm sure if Mr. Mello had put in 25 whole videos, we'd be getting an argument that all kinds of prejudicial material was put in, and that the Commonwealth should have simply chosen what was relevant to.
Well, they're telling us what we would have been upset about. If we played the whole video, they'd be upset about that. No, we wouldn't. You know why I wouldn't be upset about it? Because I wouldn't be indicted. Because if you play the whole video and you get an understanding of who I am, and you see I'm making jokes and talking about fixing fridges and call me daddy, and you just get it. Oh, this guy's like a jokester. This guy's like a comedian. This guy's this weird hybrid of something we've never seen before, of a journalist, but also an activist, and also he makes fucking jokes and entertains people. That's interesting. No wonder he has such a big following, because nobody does this shit. That's interesting. They would get the whole package. You only play the parts that give the public, the grand jury, the wrong impression of who I am and why I do what I do. And you did that by design. He doesn't fucking know. He doesn't know any of this shit. He wasn't there for the grand jury. He's just the latest government hack, triple dip that they hired. You think he's like enthused about this? Hank Brennan was enthused about going after Kearney because it was an ego thing for him. He saw that as a challenge. People are like, no one's ever going to convict this bitch. No one's ever going to convict her. She got Turtleboy. She's got Alan Jackson. There's a movement behind her. She's got a lot of money. we can't convict her. You know, we got Morrissey begging the state house for $1 million, all this shit. And because Hank Brennan is an egomaniac, he's like, I can do it. Like, that's the only reason he took that case. He saw it as a challenge and a quick buck. You know, I can do it. I'll be the one to do the impossible. I will convict Karen Reed. So he's younger and he's, I'm going to do all new, I'm going to do all sorts of shady shit. We're going to get this bitch though. He doesn't have that same drive. He does not. This guy ain't Hank Brennan. This guy's like, whatever. Yeah. I wasn't there, but probably they didn't show it because they were looking out for him. That's what he said. They were probably looking out for him.
I have to say, where's the beef? I keep hearing about stuff being taken out of context. And if only there was the context, if only the whole thing had been shown.
Yeah.
Defense has read my response and said, Your Honor, and one of the things I said was, where is it? Where's the submission to the court? These are the things that if only...
Oh, so he wants me to play the video that I played earlier of what they didn't put in. That's what he wants. But we didn't have to put that in. All we have to do is just point out that you lied about the titles and only played a small portion of it. That in and of itself should be enough. But you want us to actually explain to you? Well, how about my intent? You said that I don't want this to go to trial. That's all you put in. How about the part where I said, I do want this to go to trial. I'm going to be sexually aroused by the prospect of it, actually.
If only the grand jury had viewed them, as Your Honor is now capable of viewing them, because we
Where's the
submitted
beef?
them, and certainly Mr. Kearney has access to this.
Oh, I'll give you the beef.
He would have put things in a completely different light, and here's why. You don't have any of them. There may be some things in the entire videos that, for example, Mr. Bedero says, at one point, Mr. Kearney talks about how he's going to expose corruption, something like that. Mr. Kearney could have 16 different motives. People have more than one reason for doing things, for putting something in. Some of those motives may be good motives. But those motives are irrelevant. All the Commonwealth has to prove is that one of his motives was to intimidate those witnesses. That's what's relevant. Furthermore, I think, as Your Honor alluded to, we can infer a certain degree of sophistication on the part of the grand jury. Nobody watches even the evening news and sees a snippet of a Trump press conference or something going on in the city of Boston or an excerpt from what's going on in court and leaves under the delusion that other things weren't said, other things weren't happening. They understand that the news media selected what they considered relevant and showed that. In fact, I think that's what Mr. Kearney does.
Yeah, if the news does that to people, guess what? That's just tough luck. The news doesn't indict people and try to put them in jail. He is like, well, sometimes the media, and they do. The media, that would be a fair point if this was analogous, but it's not. If you said that, well, sometimes the media will just take the worst things that Donald Trump says and throw it in there. And they did do that to Trump a lot. The best example is the very fine people thing. A lot of you might have been like, remember when he called white supremacists very fine people? And they told us that he was saying that about white supremacists. And then you play the whole tape and they left out the part where he's like, I'm not talking about the white supremacists and those people. They're all bad. They left that part out. But they're not, when CNN does that to Donald Trump, they're not trying to put him in jail. They're just trying to get him, make sure his ratings are low. They're not trying. You guys are doing this to a grand jury. That's very different from the media cherry picking shit for a political bias. That's a little bit different there, Kazi G.
On his own broadcasts. People are sophisticated based on years of watching news shows and years of, at this point, watching the internet. There's nothing to stop a member of the grand jury. And for each of these witnesses, grand jurors had an opportunity to ask questions. And if you've read the grand jury transcripts, you know, they did ask questions. And they certainly could have said, you know, you're only showing us a snippet here. We'd like to see the whole video.
Oh, so it's the grand juror's fault. It's their fault. He actually blames the grand. Well, it's their fault for being like, bro, are you hiding shit from us? Is this actually a longer video? Can we see the whole? They don't even mention that there's more to it. They just play it and that's it.
Nobody did that.
We got to put this on the grand jury to make sure they get a square presentation.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we're putting it on the grand jury. I'm simply pointing out that in addition to the other points I've made, the opportunity was there. Nothing was being concealed. I think the practicalities of presenting the grand jury with however many hours it would have been, 26, 46, however, these shows that Mr. Kearney's run about 2.5 hours would be somewhat absurd, frankly. I think
why would it be absurd? If the whole thing is witness intimidation, why would it be absurd? Unless you're hiding something.
Commonwealth's obligation was to show what was relevant, and that was what we did.
Okay. Tell me about the issue, your thoughts on the issue with Ms. Peters and Mr. Mello.
All right.
Yeah, he's like, let's talk about
respect to,
Krusty. Talk about Krusty.
Ms. Peters, I want to make a couple of points. One is Mr. Federer raises this issue of the prior federal court suit, which Ms. Peters apparently admitted to having forged a document or something of that nature.
Yes.
Mr. Kearney would be aware of that because he was involved in it. But there is no reason why the best of prosecutors, when somebody comes to them with information, they may check out the information, which is what was done here. People went and looked at the broadcasts that they were pointed to, why they would go back and screen for federal court cases to see if the witness had previously been involved in federal.
No, it's to screen for whether or not this is a reliable source. Your source is someone who admits that she comes up with and submits fraudulent federal court documents to get me, that she is not above that. That is your source. You are trusting that the person who is sending you these clips did nothing to manipulate them, did not cut anything out. You're just trusting her. That's the whole point, Kazi, is that you should have looked into who is this person? Is this person trustworthy? Can we trust the source? The source is unreliable. Are they my own words? Yes. But when you take entire sentences out, when you admit entire thoughts, right, that changes the meaning and the context of everything. And if you looked into the source, you would say, oh, geez, the source is the kind of person who literally creates fake federal court documents and submits them because she will do anything to get him. Anything. It is her life mission. She will cheat, steal, rob, anything to do it.
Court case. I don't know. It's not a search warrant where you're trying to establish the veracity of the informant, and maybe you do some research in that case, although I think it would be rare that that kind of research would be done. So the suggestion that the Commonwealth knew or should have known that this witness was tainted in that respect, I think is somewhat absurd.
To the best of your knowledge, were any of the Peters materials presented to the grand jury?
The Peters materials were presented to the grand jury in the sense that there were a couple of audio recordings that were obtained from Kate Peters, which Mr.
Stop right there. Were any of the Peters materials used and given to the grand jury? Well, let's see what she says. The video he is playing, I made for the grand jury. It helped indict him. Her words. There you go. It seems as if they were. According to her, they were used.
Lieutenant Tully could not find checking independently because the theory was that Mr. Kearney had taken them and had replaced them with different videos in which he had intercut a warning that was not actually there originally. That the conversations were being recorded. One of those.
This was the wiretap indictment, which didn't happen.
Right.
No.
So those are the only two. The rest of them, whatever was brought to Lieutenant Tully's attention.
She messed that up. He's mixing up his wiretappings. We're talking about the Scanlon wiretapping that they brought in front of the grand jury. He's talking about the Lindsey one. That's what she sent them. She didn't do this. The Scanlon one was different, right? This is the Lindsey one that she brought, and she's like, he wiretapped her, whatever. That thing's gone. That's a non-issue. That's not even what's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the Scanlon one. The Lindsey one was not given to this Jane. Forget about her. She's done. She's cool now. We don't like. She is what she is. Her and I again are. We're not gonna walk into the fucking sunset together and like that. But it feels good to just move on with your life and be like, what am I gonna, you know what I mean? Like what it's like to just, it actually feels good to just sign a non-disparagement agreement. And it's like, I couldn't talk shit about her if I wanted to, and vice versa. And we're both better off for it. Okay. It's over. It's done. Right. I have bigger fish to fry. That is my policy. Right. And I got these people, like she's been new, like she's saying good shit. Now, who cares? Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't care about, it's over. Same with Grant. Grant said some fucked up shit to me. I don't care. Have a t-shirt. Grant, Towel News Network, fine by me now. Okay. It's over. It's it. Done.
And I can't tell you the extent to which they were brought to attention by Kate Peters, or the extent to which they were brought to attention by the victims in this case, who were obviously not happy with some of Mr. Kearney's broadcasts about them, or by both. But in every single case, Mr. Tully's representation is that he himself went to the internet, looked up the broadcast, recorded it himself, or caused it to be recorded by somebody in the office.
Bullshit. There are no emails where he asks for the videos. No, he didn't go and watch my shows. He got them sent to him. She's bragging about it.
This predates me, but I have no reason to doubt that representation, and presented them to the grand jury. And I would point out to Your Honor, to this moment, there has been no representation that any portion of the videos that the Commonwealth showed, which we presented to the grand jury as things that Mr. Kearney himself had recorded and broadcast, were not genuine. There's only been this argument that, well, they were taken out of context. If they saw something else, the jury might have thought something different.
Was the grand jury, I should maybe know this. Were the wiretap indictments no build, or were they withdrawn?
I'll be right back. Hold on. What's this?
Yes, Your Honor. Call Jennifer McCabe to the stand.
Bitch. This is the point where I get to ask the questions and you get to answer.
All right, so let's ask a question and let's get an answer. Okay? Okay, whenever you're ready, Mr. Jackson. Jen. Yes. No, I don't know. I'm an honest and truthful person.
Yes or no?
Yes. No, I don't know. I'm an honest and truthful person.
Let's try this again.
Jen. Yes. No, I don't know. I'm an honest and truthful person.
Once again, Ms. McCabe, that's not what my question was. Did you understand my question?
Yes. No, I don't know. I'm an honest and truthful person.
You just said a second ago, and I can do this all day long, or you can just make it simple.
That's okay. You can continue.
Thank you. Did you understand my question?
I am absolutely not an honest and truthful person. Oh, wait, no. Excuse me. Repeat the question. Me.
All right, cool. All right. So anyway, back to this. Dun, 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 dun.
We didn't proceed, well, on
Or did they not ask for a vote, actually, is a better way to put it.
well, on the Gaetani wiretap indictments, those were issued, but that complaint was.
Yeah, not worried about that.
So that
Exactly.
was also the Scanlon presentation.
Yes.
And what happened was, after the presentation was made, an issue was raised in mind of an issue was raised with the prosecutor as to whether, in fact, a Norfolk County grand jury would have jurisdiction. Mr. Scanlon having been, I believe, in Suffolk County for his end of the conversation, and I believe Mr. Kearney was not in Norfolk County at the time either. So there was.
That is their excuse. Again, they spent a day bringing Steve Scanlon in there. They asked him if he was wiretapped. They played a phone call of me recording him, whatever. And then they're like, and then they told the grand jury wiretapping is bad. It's 5 years in prison. He's a bad guy. And then they just never brought it up again. I personally believe Mello just forgot because he's retarded. And it happened on the first day of the grand jury. He just totally forgot to ask the grand jury to indict me. But now they need an explanation for that. And their explanation is, oh, as it turns out, we couldn't indict him in the first place because he lived in Suffolk County. And we just dropped the ball on that one. That's the best they could come up with. That's the best lie that they could come up with for this. Now, is Cosgrove lying about this? No, this is the lie they're telling him to say, right? He doesn't fucking know. He's not behind this. Like, this is Morrissey is pulling the strings as you speak.
Some thought that maybe, as I understand it, maybe that Mr. Mello would
doesn't matter.
ask Mr. Morrissey to get himself appointed as a special prosecutor for Suffolk County for the purpose of seeking the night there and joining it, but it was never pursued. With that in mind, the Norfolk County grand jury just expired without anything further being done. So nobody ever went in front of the grand jury and said this is withdrawn, but at the same time, no true bill was proposed to the grand jury relative to Mr. Scanlon.
You just never asked for a vote.
Never asked for a vote.
Just never brought it up.
What do you want to tell me?
No, I'm content to rest on my memory.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that exchange right there was good. Because we brought up this issue, this major issue with the grand jury thing. And he asked Cosgrove, so what happened there? Do you have an explanation? Like, you just didn't ask? He's like, no, we just didn't ask. We have a whole thing about why we didn't ask. We just never did it. And that was his, to me, that's a good exchange right there. Now, I still think he's going to deny the motion to dismiss. But you see, right, there's no reason. Like, you see that exchange right there. He's just like, well, I'm going to have to come. If he wants to deny this motion to dismiss, he's going to have to come up with a good reason why that doesn't matter. Or else he just ignores it too. I don't know. Personally, I think that he's just going to say, he's just going to fall back on the whole, you already had a chance to present this stuff in your first motion to dismiss. You didn't do it, too late. I think that's what he's going to say. I think he's going to deny it, and I think he's going to deny it for that reason. But, stranger things have happened, but I don't care. It's like what I want. Do I want this denied? Of course. Do I want this allowed? Of course. Because then it's over, right? Is it the end of the world if it gets denied? No. Don't care. Move on. Fine. We'll beat him at trial.
I'm sure I have questions. Mr. Bedrow, I want to back this Peters because I'm
he lost. Like, how many times now has he asked about Krusty?
what your basis on the Peters evidence is. Is a loss of exculpatory evidence? Is it? I don't know. You tell me, because again, the motion comes in as an Odell McCarthy sort of, and then goes on for many, many paragraphs, but never really tells me much about why this is important. So, is it an Odell, or is it a Commonwealth versus Willie loss of exculpatory evidence? I gotta know.
We don't know what Peter evidence ended up before the grand jury because nobody seems to have it. What I can tell the court is she provided a copy of a Scanlon alleged illegally wiretap call,
which isn't part of this indictment.
No, but to get to the point where they just said on the Scanlon evidence, we just never asked for a vote. What they never did is what every prosecutor should have done, which is instruct the grand jury, disregard that. They didn't do that. That kind of just slipped by in that exchange that was just had. You put forth uncharged crimes of wiretapping and actually tell the grand jury this is punishable by up to 5 years in prison for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. You choose because you think there's no jurisdiction or not. What Mello was obligated to do as the legal advisor to the grand jury with a duty of fair dealing, not to be an advocate, but a fair and honest broker, was to tell the grand jury, you must not consider any of that. You should not consider that evidence. You should not consider any possible penalty. So where did that come from her? We don't know. We also know that she sent evidence to Tully and I believe also Mello saying, I have taken clips from videos which show his intent in a folder named intent. We don't know that.
Let me try to separate this up because I'm trying to understand your argument and be very fair. Okay? It doesn't sound like there's any argument here there's a loss of exculpatory evidence.
Correct.
All right, so we can take that off the table. Right?
Yeah, no big deal.
Yes. Is that a yes or no?
Yes.
All right, so I don't need to worry about
So we could take that off the table. We all agree that exculpatory evidence disappeared. We just agree on that. Okay, cool. Awesome.
So what I'm now left with is the argument that the information, the only information that we seem to have right now with regard to Peters is the Scanlon non-indictment, right?
No.
Does that seem about right?
And sending clips from videos in some folder named intent to Tully. That is what
We don't know that any of that got in front of a grand jury.
we do not know if that's literally what he is. Correct.
So what we do know.
Well, we do know now that we got that thing today of Krusty bragging that it was played in front of the grand jury like 2 weeks afterwards. It's her own words.
Is that the Scanlon information got to the grand jury?
We believe so. I mean, I can't tell you if they took her version and found it
Well, we
else.
know there was testimony about that, or evidence about that.
There was testimony of that uncharged crime that was just left there.
I'm really trying to hone down your argument, something I can get my hands around. All right. Now what we're left with is the question of whether or not the grand jury was, under Brown, tainted by the inclusion of that evidence. It's a high standard, really difficult, given Judge Doolin's findings already. Or whether or not Mello had an obligation to instruct the jury on the law about that now withdrawn or not pursued indictment. Does that summarize the argument?
It does, and Your Honor, I can't fathom a world in which a prosecutor.
I'm just trying to make sure you understand the argument. I don't need further argument on it. I'm just trying to figure out if that's the argument.
Of course, he should have instructed the grand jury to disregard prejudicial
Of course
uncharged
they
crimes,
should
which could result in somebody going to prison. Yes,
Of
But I still have to
course.
go back to the Brown issue, whether or not it affected the integrity of the grand jury.
you have to determine whether it affected the integrity and ultimately whether it mattered. And in terms of did it probably influence the grand jury, the Mayfield standard? Something else the court should consider about whether any of this matters. In March of 2024. Mr. Mello took another shot at grand jury involving Mr. Kearney and
And this was such a good point that he brings up, that they tried the same shit at the March 2024 grand jury, where they tried to indict me and Karen Reed together for conspiracy to commit witness intimidation. And it was no build. Why? Because they didn't use any of the misplaced videos. But I want you to listen to this reasoning. I heard this again.
Reed for essentially,
but not this grand jury.
No, but
right, then we don't need to go there.
Your Honor, if I can have 10 seconds of
leeway. You don't need to go there.
None of the misconduct occurred in that grand jury. And what happened? The same allegations, same type of evidence, and that case was no build.
That's a whole different ball of wax.
The point is, could it have influence? We don't know.
I'm not going to guess about the grand jury presentment that I've never read, I've never seen, and involves.
I'm not going to guess about the grand jury presentment that I've never seen. Okay. But yet we're speculating about what the grand jurors could have done in my case. The grand jurors, yeah, we're just assuming that he goes on to speculate about what the grand jurors were thinking in my case, but he's not going to speculate about this grand jury. But he literally later in this hearing puts words in the mouth of grand jurors to say that we don't know. It gets like, remember that.
Far different set of facts than this. All right. Whatever, I don't know the details of what happened or didn't happen between Mr. Kearney and Ms. Reed. I don't know, and frankly, don't care. Okay. What I care about is this grand jury. Okay. And much of that communication back and forth, allegedly with Reed, allegedly between, it's not before me. I'm not going to draw an inference from that. I can't. You know that.
I'm not asking you to. It's the same video.
It's just a kind of.
No, Judge, I'm not talking about anything other than it was the same video evidence and Tully talking about the same things. And admittedly,
I guess there was a whole lot more to that grand jury than these videos.
Not much.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Understood.
Whatever.
I don't have access to it, so I can't draw a conclusion as to whether or not the fact
okay,
how
fine.
it compares. So that's, believe me, the last place I want to go down the road to figure out any interaction with your client, Karen Reed. That's got no part of this trial. All right, not fair to anybody. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to tell me about this?
One other just response to something Mr. Cosgrove said when the court was asking him, why not just play or give the grand jury the opportunity if they so choose to have the videos? And the response was, well, they could have asked. I
didn't put a lot of stock in that, so I wouldn't spend any time on that.
Whatever they don't know, and the last point, Your Honor, is why rename the videos? Why say it comes from the intent? Why offer the opinions? It's to put their finger on the scale and to say, we believe he did it, you should believe he did it, and that's improper for a prosecutor to do as a legal advisor to a grand jury.
Fair enough. All right, I'll take it under advisement. I'll make 2 quick points. Sure. Yep.
I just want to point out that from Commonwealth's perspective, the whole Scanlon argument is waived because they had the grand jury minutes at the time that they brought the last motion, including
the Scanlon argument limited to the idea that they should have instructed.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, that's his whole argument is like they should have brought it up the first time. So ignore the fuckery. You guys missed the fuckery the first time. So we admit it's fuckery, but you had your chance to point out the fuckery and you didn't do that.
The second point I want to make is the argument that they don't know what information came from Ms. Peters. I guess my response is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that she has an animus against Mr. Kearney, that the two
really?
are oil and water. doesn't matter if the Commonwealth got those videos from Jack the Ripper or whether the Commonwealth got them from St. Teresa. The question is the video evidence authentic? And it is.
Okay. All right. Enough on that.
It's not authentic if it's edited. It's not authentic if entire phrases and sentences were kept out of it.
Next issue. Do we have the third party here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. From the defense, I didn't get a response.
Oh, God,
opposition. Is there a
dildo.
response or opposition?
No opposition, Your Honor.
So you're fine with releasing these matters?
Judge, we're,
This is funny.
from our perspective, this is all out in the possession of.
So this is wild. Dildo shows up, and Dildo's here to ask. He wants to intervene. He wants my phone extraction, and I gave him. I showed you what I gave Dildo the other day. I gave him all the messages I had. He wants all my messages with David Yannetti, Alan Jackson, and Karen Reed. And my philosophy is they're all out there anyway. So here they are. Like, there's nothing to hide. Here you go. And we're just like, he's actually shocked. The judge is like being like, I'll hook you up with this. And we're like, no, we're good. The one thing he wants to help us out on, we're like, no, we're all set. We don't give a shit about that.
The internet, if you will.
Tell the internet, bro.
It seems like everybody has it and can look at it except Mr. Kearney, but that's another issue for another day.
Well, we returned it to him. Did we not? That was the order that the Commonwealth.
Yeah, you did return it to me in a format that, and then this idiot comments. I thought we could go, like, they gave me the format that was unreadable on a Mac, which is like so fucking problematic. I'm finally able to access it now, but I had to go through all these steps to do it. And I thought that should have been brought up. And we don't bring it up because some idiot comments on the Zoom.
Okay, hold on. Yes, Your Honor, but it's there's all sorts of.
You heard that?
Okay, whoever's on the video, you need to shut down.
And this is such boomer shit, by the way. Like, the clerk has the ability to mute everyone. It's fucking basic shit to tell the public that we're just going to shut this down if anybody talks anymore. It's like, that's on you guys. That's on the clerk for doing that, for not shutting that shit down. That's on the clerk. That's not on the idiot who is unmuting himself, right? That's on you for not controlling it and muting everyone. Because now what they have done is given a blueprint to any idiot that wants to shut this shit down for everyone. Any troll, they've basically given them a blueprint to how to shut this down. Just go on there and yell some shit. And then everybody, it's an invitation to do it. This shows a real lack of the understanding of like how the internet works and trolls and stuff like that. So like, yeah, this could have been intentionally done this. I don't fucking know, but whatever it is, it's not the proper answer to this.
Further, Your Honor, Mr. Kearney provided Attorney Diller with all these communications.
So this is not an issue.
Shouldn't be.
Because my intent, frankly, my first impression here is I want to protect Mr. Kearney's rights not to have these materials, investigatory
Oh,
materials.
thank you. Thank
If you're
you.
okay with it, I'm not going to
Well,
say it on your
I
way.
appreciate that, and if you're inclined to do that, I certainly would ask you to do it.
Well, you didn't, that's why I asked you if you opposed it, and you said no. So
But if that's your inclination, or any layer of protection, we appreciate. But unfortunately, this is out on the internet. Number one, he's given it to Mr. Diller as a pro se, non-party deponent,
lawyer.
So what do you need from Mr. Diller? Why do you need it from me if you already have it?
I don't know that I have it. I know that I just got a link from Mr. Kearney a couple days ago because I went into our case and also got a motion to compel, which was allowed. So I'm entitled to at least compare the two matters to see whether they are consistent and that it's comprehensive.
Exactly. I knew he was going to do that because I sent him everything. I went through my whole phone extraction and I gave him screenshots of all my messages with Yannetti. And it took hours to put it together because we talked a lot, and I'd send him all the screenshots of the messages with Yannetti. Then I had to do the same with Jackson. And then I had to do the same with Karen Reed. And that's all I could find. I keyword searched their names. He wanted Nathan Reed. I keyword searched that. Couldn't find anything. I don't have Bill or Janet Reed's number. I've never spoken to them. It's nothing I can do. So I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I gave you everything. He wants to cross-reference that to see if I left anything out. That's what he wants to do. Bro, just call Julie Carpenter. She's got the whole thing.
I appreciate
Why is this before Judge Gilday, not me?
It was before Judge Gilday, and he issued an order. There's a separate issue, which is we've executed a protective order, and any of the materials that will be provided from this case to us will be protected. There's also been a Gilday order there's no dissemination or discussion of any of the confidential information. So there will be no leaks of data into the world. And this case will
There'll be no, bro, it's already been leaked. Where have you been, dildo? Look again. Watch the Foreskin Girls. They do entire YouTube presentations about my phone. What are you talking about? Everything's out there.
come to judgment prior to the O'Keefe case. So we'd ask that we get access to those materials. We know that they are the authentic materials, and we request we'll execute the protective order as well.
I gave him Natalie's entire phone extraction, which is a bonus. He got a 2-for-1, because not only are you getting all of her communications with me, but more importantly, you're getting all of Natalie's communications with McDonough. I gave him McDonough. I did the unthinkable. Like, I finally cracked, guys, you know?
But I can tell you right now, I'll say it, all right? Hey, Aidan, give us fucking McDonough and we'll go easy on you.
I could only take so much. There was only so much torture I could take until I finally just gave him McDonough. I literally gave them McDonough because in Natalie's phone extraction, she talked to McDonough constantly, mostly about me, not good things either. She didn't like me and he didn't like me either. And they just talked shit about me the whole time. And he tells her the feds are, one day we're going to do a whole show just going over all Natalie's messages with McDonough, and you are going to be so entertained. I shit you not. It's the funniest shit. But I gave him McDonough. So that's a nice gift you got there. I mean, he's the real guy you want, right? Go out, go get McDonough. He's the bad guy. Anyway, back to this.
The other parties who do not object in the O'Keefe matter will all execute the same confidentiality protective order, and it will be used exclusively in that case.
For the record, let's get your name, sir.
Attorney Mark Diller on
Like,
behalf
who
of the
the
O'Keefe
fuck
family.
are you?
Okay. Any further? Anybody want to be heard on this?
I don't have any objection to providing Mr. Diller with a copy of the same materials that I believe are already out there on the internet. Ironically, they've been released not by Mr. Kearney personally, but through someone who was associated with it, as I understand it.
Oh, what'd you say? All right.
Materials that I believe are already out there on the internet. Ironically, they've been released not by Mr. Kearney personally, but through someone who was associated with it, as I understand it.
Through someone who is associated with them. 5150. That's his acknowledgement that 5150 gave. That's him saying he's putting it out there. 5150 released the phone extraction. That's what he's saying right there. Right? She released it. We agree on that one. And does anyone think that she hasn't contacted him to be like, how can I help you out? Of course she fucking has. Of course she has. Right? But even Cosgrove is like, no, not today, Satan. Nope. I fell for that trick once already with no more Turtleboy ex-girlfriends. We're not doing that anymore. That's done. That last time I did that, I got sued. Okay. We're not doing that anymore. All set.
The problem that I'm dealing with is
Judge Crump's protective order.
Is essentially found on Exhibit B to the motion to intervene, which is the order from Judge Sisitsky, which was entered in the Karen Reed case. That motion was brought by Mr. Bradle on behalf of Mr. Kearney, and Mr. Bradle, as I recall, wished to bring it with respect to both the Karen Reed case and with respect to this case. Judge Sisitsky announced at the outset that he was only there to deal with the Karen Reed case. He wasn't going to touch the Kearney case, but the language of the order prohibits all agents of the Commonwealth, which would seem to include me at the moment, Your Honor, from requires us to maintain the confidentiality, which is now essentially non-existent, not share, publish, disseminate, or otherwise disclose the data or any information concerning the data. So I may be partially to blame for this matter being before Your Honor this morning, because my position was, I'm happy to give it to you, but I don't want to get caught between an order on the criminal side telling me that I have to protect this information, not release it, not disclose it, and an order on the civil side saying, turn it over in response to the subpoena.
And this has already been produced by Mr. Kearney on his own?
That's my understanding.
Yes, as a pro se, non-party deponent.
All right. I'll take it under advisement. Okay. Next motion. Table 139, this was the issue of the items from the team. Anybody want to be heard on this?
Yes, I think.
Oh, the team. Okay. So this is about my other 6 devices that they took from me. I've shown them before, things they found. And I want to talk about, so the team has gone through all of my devices. And what did I tell you about those devices? Those are from, I didn't even know what some of them were. They're like, we took a SIM card or something like that. And we put, bro, it's like photos from a digital camera from like 2012. It's like my kids and shit. It's like they took one of my ex-wife's old phones that we never threw out. That's what the team found. So that's about it.
Okay, I'll hear you. I allowed it provisionally, but you should know what it's saying. It couldn't be disseminated.
Right. The only thing I would say, Your Honor, is reading paper 134, which was the impounded report from Mr. Verino. It looks like some of the work has been completed, and there are 2 instances where he's looking for guidance from the court. That's the very last item, Apple iPhone A1549, and Apple iPhone on the next page.
I'm going to tell you this story.
Where he says the extraction attempts failed and he would need permission.
That one.
In order to
So there was one, I guess he's reading this. This is impounded. So I guess he's reading now. We could talk about it. The team tried to go through one of my devices and they said it failed, that the extraction attempt failed. They couldn't extract anything from it.
An attempt by a law enforcement agency. I'm not sure how long it would take to accomplish those things. I haven't had an opportunity since, thanks to Your Honor's allowing the motion. I've only had this now for a couple of days. I haven't had an opportunity.
So I'll tell you what that is. They don't know what this is. So I had this phone and I remember it happening. Okay. This was back when I was messaging with Jinduso. So this was back in like 2020. Well, some sexting going on. There's some of that going on in this phone. Okay. And all of a sudden one day, all of my messages with her, I'm using my phone to text her and the phone just stops working. And I'm like, this is in 2020. And I'm like, it just won't turn back on. It just shit the bed. And so I bring it to the Apple store. Okay. And I'm like, the Apple store can just turn anything back on. Right. And so I give it to them and they take it and they're like, we tried everything. We can't get it to turn on. There's like, I don't know what you did to this thing, but it's not turning back on. And I remember being pissed because I lost all my messages with her. Those messages were like hot and heavy and they were gone. Sometimes I like to read, it's like reading Penthouse Forum sometimes, reading the old messages. And like, I couldn't read them. And I always wanted them to turn that phone back on because she also said a lot of incriminating shit in there that I could have used after things went bad. But I lost all of them. I had to ask her, I'm like, yo, can you screen record our messages and send them to me? Not knowing that, like what I was trying to do that for. And because I lost them all, the phone wouldn't turn back on. So now they have the phone. So they have this phone that I couldn't turn on and that Apple couldn't turn on. And for some reason, I just never threw it out because I always told myself, someday I'm going to get this phone to turn on. I always had that in the back of my head. Maybe there's a way. I always thought that maybe there's a way I can maybe it'll just turn on one day. And when I least expect it, maybe that will happen. You ever do that with some shit? You're just like, I'm not ready to throw it out yet. I'm not ready to throw it out yet because I really want to read those messages. What if it turns back on? What if it turns back on? Then I can get because it wasn't in the cloud. My cloud was full too. I didn't buy the upgrade for the storage. So I lost it all. All the fucking shit was gone. There was pictures on there. There was a lot of shit that I wanted. There was a video of her. I'll tell you right now. She sent me a video of while she was driving a motor vehicle, playing with herself while she was driving. I wanted that video. Like I lost that fucking there. You couldn't see anything. She didn't show anything, but she's like with, I don't know what hand was on the fucking wheel. And she filmed herself doing that. And that video is gone forever. Gone. That would have been, that video is gone. And so I swear to God. And so that's why I never threw the phone out. I'm like, I always kept telling myself, maybe it'll turn back on. Maybe I'll figure this out someday. I'm like, if I throw it out, it's gone forever. I'll never be able to turn it on. You might say TMI. I'm just telling you right now. That's why I never threw the phone away. Because I'm like, maybe I'll turn it. And so I couldn't turn it on. The Apple store couldn't turn it on. And then my house gets raided and they take it. And then they send it to the taint team. And the taint team's like, we can't get it to turn back on. It won't fucking turn on. So now they got the phone. And I'm like, if you guys get that turned on, I want it back. I want that back. Because that video is funny. Go ahead.
Need to check with somebody with more sophistication than I in matters of electronics and extraction. Someone more sophisticated than I would probably be any 12-year-old I could stop on the street. But I don't really understand what this would involve and how long it would take and what the expense would be. So I'd like a little time to look into that. But with respect to what's already been done, and it seems to me that they have, for example, the next to last entry, Honorable Macy reviewed and marked item for privilege. Working on producing the potential privilege notations by Honorable
He
Macy,
makes everything so boring.
which items are deemed privileged for defense production. This was dated March 25th of 2026. This tainting process has been very laborious, and I would really like to get the ball rolling on this, or rolling a little further before we are up against the trial date.
How soon do you think, how long will it take you to formulate your position on further steps?
I don't think it will take me long at all. You're a week.
Mr. Badero, Mr. Badel, what have you heard of any of this?
Judge, I don't object to a week, if council wants to.
You have the materials he has, he's released to you.
Yes.
The report.
Yes.
Okay. So,
See, I wasn't even aware of that.
well, that was the order that I issued.
Oh, you mean this? But. Okay.
That was the order that I got, was to release that report.
Right. But the text of the report says that they have the data. Macy's reviewed it or has reviewed some of it. I would like some indication to the taint team that would like to get it.
I don't know what exactly is in play here. Mr. Brett.
Yes, Judge.
You were with Mr. Cosgrove.
Okay.
You guys need to file a further motion to assist this process to speed it up. Just get it to me.
We would like
I'll
to receive
draft
it first.
something and show it to Mr. Bradel.
Yeah, you guys can work.
You would like to receive it first, though, Your Honor. I appreciate Commonwealth references in their submission that to the extent that there is a privileged notations in here, we'd like to see it first to evaluate it.
Understood. I get that part.
Okay.
All right. So look, get a report back to me 2 weeks from today. Right. And if you need a further court order to move the ball forward, I'll be glad to do that. All right. I assume you guys will come up with some agreement on it, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be.
Yes, Judge. I think I proposed to council that I'd just like to have it for, let's say, a week prior to this.
So I'll give you 2 weeks to sort this out.
All right,
Right.
appreciate it.
I suspect you don't need me to interfere with this.
I don't think so, Your Honor.
Yeah, my understanding may be less than a 12-year-old. Okay, last issue, which is the issue for disclosure on Proctor. Did you folks have some discussion with this?
Yes. We did, Your Honor. We're almost there. I think we need court guidance on one disparity.
It's very wide right now. Far too wide. All right. I think I know where you can go. I'm not sure
We're not going to make you go through the labor of looking at our stuff.
All right, tell you what. 2 weeks to give me a report on where you stand on that. All right, if you guys can reach an agreement, that's fantastic.
Whoa!
All right, we're going to close the Zoom now. That's it. Zoom is shut down.
Whoa. Ha.
If I may, Judge, the only issue we're disparate on is the scope of the protective order relative to what Mr. Kearney can be shown and not shown. And we were proposing that it would be just case-related materials from the Proctor extraction. We'd be entitled to show him, not provide copies, to show him case-related materials. And I think counsel has a little more of a specific issue. I think that's the only issue we're disparate on.
If you guys have an agreement and you want to work it out, that's fantastic. If you still need more time to have this discussion, you want to come see me even by Zoom, we can do that. If you guys have, again, you guys reach an agreement, I'm not going to stand in the way of it. If you need further clarification after discussion, okay, tell me.
I was just hoping to gently push the Commonwealth today to put their position out, which we discussed prior to this hearing, and perhaps Your Honor can make the ruling. I think it's a pretty straightforward thing.
Tell me what you think I should know, Mr. Cosgrove.
Essentially, I have folded my tent, so to speak, and agreed to provide information
Folded my tent.
Mr. Bradel to the same degree that it's been provided in the other cases.
So he has finally agreed. Remember, he would not give us Proctor's messages before because he's like, Proctor is not involved in the investigation. He acquiesced to that today when they had a discussion, and he admitted that he was clearly involved in the investigation. You are entitled to all of the messages that Miles King is getting, that everyone's getting. You get them too. Okay. But there's a stipulation. He doesn't want me seeing them. For some reason, I don't get to see them. Yeah, there's this weird Turtleboy rule where I don't get to see discovery. Only my lawyers do.
Where there is Proctor discovery. And Mr. Bradle
Oh, God.
has agreed that essentially the same protective order will be issued, which essentially boils down to that the materials provided will be provided only for the use of counsel and may be shown to the client, but the client may not receive copies of those materials.
And is there any restriction on the use of those materials by the client? I think that's probably what we're all circling around here.
Yes.
So he's like, you can show them to him, but you can't send them to him. So you got to like show him in person. What?
That's my concern. And it seems to me that to the extent that the information, there's really two potential pieces of information. One is case-specific information, anything Mr. Proctor may have said relating to the specific case and Mr. Kearney.
That's would almost be automatic.
Sure. I would have no problem with that being shown to Mr. Kearney. However, it seems to me the bias information, which is, as I understand it, pretty standard. It's really the same for all the defendants. The stuff going back, whatever the comments that Mr. Proctor made about this person or that person that potentially could be used to impeach him if he is called as a witness and show bias, that have nothing to do with Mr. Kearney in particular.
That's a bridge we'll cross when we come to it.
And that's another announcement we made today. If this goes to trial, we will be calling Michael Proctor as a witness in this. You have not seen the last of Michael Proctor. That's another, again, the Turtleboy trial is going to be, if this happens, it ain't going to be that much fun for you because it's like very, whatever, like stressful. You're on trial for your life. For you guys, you win. Like you Proctor's back. Jen McCabe's back. Brian Albert's back. Colin Albert's back. Your favorite McAlberts. They've all returned. The bagel is back. You're going to get all sorts of entertainment that you didn't get in the second Karen Reed trial. All your favorite characters are back. And there's more texts that are going to come out. And Auntie Bev's not going to be there this time to stop it all. Ooh, you're going to get a show, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't wish to be shown. I would like to be restricted from showing to Mr. Kearney because I don't think that counsel needs his input if we come to trial to present a statement that Mr. Proctor made 12 years ago about supplemental minority or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The likelihood is it's only going to leak out into the internet to the extent it hasn't already, to the possible embarrassment of.
We start cracking the seal on people.
Oh, God forbid we embarrass Michael Proctor. God, we don't want to embarrass Michael Proctor. That would be bad. He actually said that.
Comments and inappropriate comments and unacceptable comments. It's going to open up things that we just don't necessarily need to go down. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, but just a word to the wise. Mr. Bradle, what do you think the agreement is right now?
This issue that the Commonwealth wants to sort of parse out is too vague to parse that out. I can't look at something and say,
I'll give you 2 weeks to confirm.
It makes it adverse to the client.
I'll give you 2 weeks. I'll give you 2 weeks to confirm. If you guys haven't come to an agreement by then, call Mr. Donnelly. Okay. Come in and see me. It's a 15-minute hearing. It should not take us long. All right, so we've got 2 weeks on the issue of the taint team issue. 2 weeks on this issue too.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then there's also a housekeeping issue relative to the dates, Your Honor, for trial and motions in limine. I think we wanted to propose to the court. I think we hammered this out before you came out, which is that we wanted to propose Friday, December 4th for motions in limine, Monday, December 7th for.
So we just do some scheduling stuff there. Motions and lemonade ended up getting moved back to he's like, I anticipate a lot of motions and lemonade. So yeah, you're going to get a lot. So whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. All right. So long story short, this shit's going to get expensive. Appreciate everybody donating. We're going to have to sign up for the golf fundraiser. That's one. Sign up for the golf thing. I'll see you at the golf thing. I'll see you at the Freedom Ride that we're having on August 15th in Marlboro. Sign up for that. I got to keep sharing that more. Let me read some turtle chats. Let's see what we got here. Okay. All right. At 4Dread sends $10, goes, the guns are out. Oh, yeah. Sun's out, guns out. It's also hot in here. I can see how protective Bradle is over you, bro. He's taking it kind of personal how they treat you different. Chris Maddie is gay. Exactly to everything there. Chris Maddie is gay, or allegedly. And yes, Bradle. I mean, he saw me go to jail, man. He's talked to me every day in jail. Like he just, you get close to a client that way. I'm like actually innocent. Like I didn't do anything, and I'm in jail. Like I have kids and shit. He's a dad too. He gets it, So thank you for that. Next, Nicole sends $5. Goes, hey, Daddy, thanks for doing the stream tonight. Anyway, we need to start doing standouts and getting the word out more often. I think there's still a lot of people that don't know about your case in Massachusetts. We do. We need a Karen Reed level push here, which we're not going to get because it's like I'm not on trial for murder. It's not as sexy of a story as the Karen Reed case, but enough people I think will care. And so that's great. Jay Will raised $6,000 last. Did he? Holy shit. I didn't even have time to watch it. There's a fundraiser going on for me that Will is running. Will's the man. That's why they hate him so much. That's why the Hood Booger Talk Radio and all these people, they're like, they always try to convince me. They're like, they would love me if I threw Will under the bus. They would all embrace me so fast, but I'm not going to do that ever because Will's my homie. I'm not doing that. Like, I'm a loyal person, and I'm loyal to people who are loyal to me, and that motherfucker is loyal. And he's actually, I know when somebody is like a good person and when he's a good guy. I'm telling you, say what they always try. Where's he going to be for you? Is he going to be out here? You really want, they try to be like tomorrow morning on the Bus Stop Live, I'm going to play the Hood Booger Talk Radio clips of him and these other retards. Because Cryford went on there with BLT. And they are so, like, they would love me if I threw Will under the bus. They would be so happy because they hate him way more than they hate me. Because they view him as more like on their level. Like he's got a similar amount of subs or whatever. And I've chosen him over them, basically. You know what I mean? Because he's not like the true colors were shown during Recording Gate. Everyone's true colors came out then. And they sucked. But Cryford's true colors came out long before that. And so did BLT's for that matter, But yeah. They're like, well, what's he going to do for you? He doesn't even live in Massachusetts. We could help you out. Bitch, you ain't helping me out. You got 50 people watching you. How the fuck are you going to help me out? You can't help out anyone, which is why you're not helping out Karen Reed. Why don't you go help out Karen Reed? When's the last time one of you motherfuckers did a fundraiser for Karen Reed? Why isn't Cryford doing fundraisers for Karen Reed? Why isn't Boston Brandy doing one? I thought that we were going to get to the truth of what happened to John O'Keefe in the Karen Reed civil case. So why aren't we doing fundraisers for it? Why aren't you guys doing it? I'm not going to sabotage that. I don't care. I'm all for that. I've given more money to Karen Reed than any of these motherfuckers have too. A lot of people don't know that. I raised over $5,000 for her with the Halloween fundraiser that got to her. All of that money went to her. Fuck have these assholes done recently? Nothing. All right, back to this. So thank you for that. Hi, Alexa sends $5. Goes, can the trial legally be held anywhere but in Dedham with no change of venue motion? Yes, because as long as the jury is a Norfolk County jury, it will be a Norfolk County case. Just the building doesn't matter. They're going to bust them in. So that's what they're going to say. Next, Sanity Hack sends 25. Goes, okay, if the Megamotion doesn't get the case dismissed, don't be down. Oh, I'm not. There's a silver lining. If the Commonwealth wants to humiliate themselves again and put you on trial, you'll get to me. I'm coming. I'm a 22-hour drive from my pad in New Orleans, which is only a 7 Adderall, 2 bottles of Jack Daniels drive for Chris Albert. I'll do that to watch you win. You will win in the end. I just know fate is going to be kind to you. Well, thank you so much, Sanity Hack. That makes me feel a lot better. I appreciate that. Marlene sends $10. Goes, I am in awe with your courage. I believe you will be in the history books as taking down the corruption in Canton. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I aim to inspire. Thank you. Next, Lynette Corolla, my girl from the West Coast, says, Turtleboy, let's fuck. Let's do it, Lynette. It's going to be glorious to see you up on the stand and pants these fuckers. Sending all the love and support from us West Coasters. Love you lots. Lynette Corolla sends $100. Very kind to you, Lynette. And I do appreciate that very, very much. Thank you so much. All right, cool. Let me see if we have any cash apps here. Do we? Let's see. No, I didn't really pimp that out. But I do have a bunch of memberships. So new member or became a new member. Welcome, Fraudnella. I hope you like it here. Thanks for joining my cult. Mistake says props to Will for the fundraiser yesterday. Over $6,000 and counting. He's a real one. No, he's an actual real one. Yeah, for real. For the troll saying you're losing support. Nope, we got you. Yeah, the numbers say otherwise. The number, I don't really see anyone, people who matter, I'm not losing support from. All I see is some people online talking shit, mostly anonymous. I don't care. I don't know who any of these people are. Never met them. Don't care. Don't care. Says, and here I was thinking that I was the only black girl for Turtleboy these last 3 years. No, the sisters love me. They love me. Why wouldn't they? Everybody likes Turtleboy. The Latinas love me. Asians love me. I was in the Asian club in high school. Whites love me. Everybody loves Turtleboy. Miss Jenny says, remember. I do. 5 congrats to the winners of the 5 gifted Turtleboy memberships from We Got Your Back. Don't forget to renew at the end. They get you on those. If you get a free one, you might as well just renew it. Your dad's favorite mom, it says the judge didn't get, that's not about what the titles were changed to. It's the fact that they were changed at all. Exactly. And Doolin was not aware of that. Exactly. Doolin did not know that. That was a big thing. Exactly. New member, Attorney O'Leary. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Karen says Turtleboy was right. I think did I meet Karen today? Yes. I felt honored to be on the room today. That was Karen that I met there. Thank you, Turtleboy. I met a couple new people today that I'd never met before. It was like it's their first time there. It was great meeting them. So I'm glad. I really like meeting my supporters there. I'm gracious for every single one of you. And thank you so much for coming. Jen McMurder says live comments can be removed because that's what Psycho L. Woods did when she admitted to me about her being the girl talking to Paul O'Keefe. So you can get rid of those, huh? I didn't know that. Okay. Interesting. Your old live, Jersey Queen says judge has made his mind made up. You will be going to trial and the judge and jury listen to your shows all. You will be going to try and make the judge and jury listen. Exactly. They're going to have to listen to them all, period. The grand jury didn't get to hear them. My jury will, period. Who dares win? Suggestion, girlfriends sign non-disclosure. You attract crazy girls, Irish in us, crazy girlfriend too. 5150 offered to sign a non-disclosure with me. And I never took her up on it. Obviously should have. But then again, what's it really going to do though? All you got to do is just make burners. And that's all they would do. I feel like there's a million ways around an NDAs are infamous for not being enforceable. And, I don't really fuck with crazy anymore. That was like a one-time, I met her in jail. You know what I mean? I feel like don't meet prison girls is number one thing. Stay away from prison bitches. And I feel like I'm healthy right now. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm going at a very comfortable pace in the current relationship I'm in. You know what I mean? And also, red flag is if they want to come to the lawyer meetings, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. And so, if they want attention too, if they want to be known like on the internet as Turtleboy's girlfriend, that's like, that should be a red flag right there. I would not date anybody that wants to be like publicly known as like, that's immediate number one red flag, that you want to be known by the internet. That's not normal. You want to be a target? You want attention that badly? I don't trust you. I don't trust you if that's how you do it. You know what I mean? Or you want to come to a meeting with my lawyers? If your immediate reaction to that isn't like, no thanks, then you're gone. That's it. That's it. So that's it. Because that did happen with her. That I broke up with her 3 days later. We had court date on July 7th, and we went down to review what just happened in the Dedham, in the Norfolk Registry of Deeds there. We always had like a debrief after. And she came down and she wanted to come in. And Bradle and Better were like, no. They clearly were not comfortable with her coming in, because we were going to discuss materials that were impounded and stuff like that. But Courtney Healy was allowed in, and 5150 hates Courtney Healy. And so she's like, why is she allowed in? And I'm not, because she works for Bradle. I don't know what to tell you. She works for Tim. I know you don't like her, but she worked. And then I had to be like, in hindsight, I should have been like, bitch, what the fuck? Why the fuck do you want to be in here so bad? So you can get access to these materials and then fucking hold them against me, which is exactly what she ended up doing. You know, it's just fucking crazy. It's just crazy. So no, I'm not going to be doing, like, I would never. Boundaries are big. Boundaries, going slow. Anybody wants to go too fast, that's a red flag. Red flag. I want to go nice. Anybody who's not comfortable with the pace you want to go at, or anything like that, or makes you want to be something that you're not, or do. If you find yourself, ladies and gentlemen, if you find yourself doing things to please other people, right? To please the person that you're with, to avoid a fight, but it's not what you want to do, right? It's not who you are. That's like, you should have that discussion with them and be like, you know what? And if they don't respect that, then they got to go, you know, because it's perfectly normal to have, I think this is like deep thoughts of Turtleboy here. It's perfectly normal to not see eye to eye all the time with the person that you're seeing. But it's also important to discuss that with them. And if they can't handle that conversation, if they get offended, because 5150 would just be like, oh, and storm out and be like, oh, I don't get to do this. Oh, you don't want me there? Oh, and if I tried to talk to her and be like, no, it's not like that, she would just get mad. You know what I mean? That should have been the first sign. That's like, no, you're not being mature about this. You're not an adult about this. You don't get it. You know? Whereas, like, you know, other people can. Other people, if you're in a healthy relationship where you could talk about anything, including things that are uncomfortable, that, you know, your boundaries need to be drawn. And if they can handle those boundaries, right? And just like, this is who I am. You know what I mean? This is what I do. Can you accept that about me? If not, totally understand. But don't try to change me. You know, I don't want to change you. You shouldn't try to change me. We shouldn't be changing you, because then I'm just going to resent you, because I'm just going to be like, I don't want to be this person. And I'm only being this person to avoid a fight with you. And that's not healthy. That's not. And yeah, there's this Turtleboy giving, you know, people are like, well, who the fuck are you to give relationship advice? I don't know. Somebody that's been in a lot of really bad relationships, maybe. Somebody's like learned from shit. Somebody's like grizzled, like, you know what I mean? What do you want me to say? You know? So here's what it is. So anyway, I want to start doing that. But yeah. So I don't think the NDAs are going to work. All right, next. Who's next? Okay. Okay. Alt 4 Dread is a new member. Welcome aboard, sir. And he says, I think that wiretap might dismiss this case. Don't be surprised. He kept urging better. Interesting. No, he ain't going to dismiss the case. Stop it. That'd be crazy. Imagine you dismiss the case. That'd be nuts, but it ain't going to happen. Big Vic 76 says, is a new YouTube member. Thank you. Crystal Justice says, instead of let's talk about a groupie. Had to spell it that way for YouTube. That needs to happen in December. I'm in Michigan. Plan on being there. Okay, I don't know. I think I get what you're saying. I don't get it. But I don't know if that's like a dirty thing. But thank you. I hope you come to my trial. Thank you. Next, Mama 4 Denise is a West Coast for Turtleboy. Free the turtle. Love my West Coast turtle people very, very much. Okay. All right. Baker is on one tonight. Oh, is he live? I thought I saw Baker in my chat. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's it. So I will see you guys all tomorrow. So tomorrow morning on the Bus Stop Live, we're going to talk a little bit about the Randall video because we got to talk about that. And we're going to have my show tomorrow night. I mean, this is the grift. I've learned, I have learned a couple things from, because Machado is, and I talked, these guys are like, there's one clip I played where they're like, I was on with Purple Kool-Aid. Purple Kool-Aid the other day was like, bro, Turtleboy told me that he had to destroy Machado because she was a threat, man. And all the antis took that clip and they're like, shit. Turtleboy is threatened by Machado. It's like, bro, it was such obvious, like, I'm threatened by her. Like, what are you talking about? Anyway, but I will say one thing about her is that, like, she knows how to grift. I'll give her that. Like, it's a really simple thing. The longer you stream, your streams are on YouTube. I looked at my revenue, right? The longer a stream goes, the more streaming hours you have, the more money you make. I didn't know that. If you do like an hour-long stream, it makes less money because less ads are seen. Even if it has the same amount of viewers, the viewing hours are down, so you make less money on it because YouTube doesn't show as many ads. And so in theory, if you just like on that 12-hour stream I did, I made fucking bank with the revenue because it was 12 hours. So that's why she streams for like 6-7 hours a day. Because just the more you stream, the more money. So fuck it. Why wouldn't I do that? Yeah. But I'm actually going to talk about interesting shit. So you get 2 for 1 there. You know what I mean? So, hey, God bless him. I always said that about her. Like, whatever. It's a fucking free country. People, you want to silence her. I don't give a fuck what she does. I just said I wasn't going to listen. I don't give a shit. I'm a dude. I don't listen to shows about menopause and like, flower arrangements at weddings. And like, that's chick shit. Like, I have no interest in that. Why would I want what? If a man wants to watch that, red flag, that's weird. Weird for any man to be like, I'm a bunny. We all agree that's weird, right? Like, I think she would agree with that. It's fucking weird to have male fans. Like, that's weird of a show like that. Like, it should not be surprising that I have no interest in that. That's all. That's all. It's not a bad thing. It's just like, yeah, I'm a straight guy. Why would I watch that? That's not insulting. That's not like, I think the show sucks because I also think reality TV sucks. And I think soap operas suck. And I think all that shit sucks. That's it. Like, I have no interest in that. And if you can make a living doing that, God bless America, right? God bless America. Good for you. I mean, whatever. All that shows is that anyone can make it in this country. Like, it's fucking, if you're fucking not, if you can't pay your bills, if you're like, I can't do anything in your life, just look at Machado. She's making bank, right? And all she does is fucking drive around and yell into a phone. That's God bless America. I mean, what did Frenchie say in The Departed? It's America. If you can't make money, you're a fucking retard. Is that what he's something like that? It's a great quote. And she's the perfect example. You can literally make a living in this country. driving around, yelling into a phone and going through the fucking drive-through and then putting your audience on hold for 15 minutes while you have a conversation on the phone with somebody else. People will watch that and you can make money. It's fucking awesome. Why would I hate that? That's great. Congratulations. I don't expect me to listen, but if you can do it, more power fucking to you. Why the fuck would I want to stop you? I don't give a shit. Just don't expect me to be like, that's great. I fucking love that. Like, that's weird. Like, okay. It's like, so that's it. It's not a big fucking deal. Again, it should be a gigantic red flag if I was like, I'm a fucking bunny, bro. I love hearing about menopause. I love hearing about the floral arrangement at your daughter's wedding. Tell me more about your teenage daughter's work schedule. I want to hear all about that because that's fucking what interests me as a straight man. That would be fucking weird, right? And if you didn't, like, what the fuck? That's all. It's not a big fucking deal. That's it. So anyway, hope the Bunions aren't mad about that because that's all I was saying. All right, I'm out of here, guys. We'll see you guys in the morning for the grifting and the bus stop live. All right, peace to your bum crease. Outie, and don't forget to brush your teeth.
Tick, 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 boom. Tick, 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 boom. Tick, 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 boom. Pressure build, detonate. Tick, boom. Too late now, can't moderate. Tick, just give me flash. Let's go. Everybody talking, nobody compose. You should have just let me be, but nah, you knew what I do. Who I am. You know who I am. Tick, tick, tick. Bobbing and weaving where you telegraph hate. Flash bows pop every time I breathe. Whole world watching, enjoy no front row seats. Say my name, watch the algorithm scream. Turtleboy! You drama sales on the fumes of my pike tails. Free clickbait for all the mirror ultimate. Bum for town clownies. Better all town clownies in the cheap seats. I built this house, you built noise, I built proof. Woo. Time to raise this roof. Time to expose the hard truth. Now the spotlight stuck on you. Oh, po baby boo. Tick, 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 boom. Truth hit the wrong. Stand clear. Tick, boom. Funny now, they fear. Tick, boom. Flash bulbs, no escape. Tick, boom. Clock ran out.